What up? What up? What up? You know what day it is? It's Tuesday night. It's 8:30. It's the Hockey Happy Hour only on A2D Radio. Special show for you guys tonight. We got playoff hockey, baby. Let's go. Greatest tournament for the greatest trophy in all of sports. Let's go. So we're doing live reactions tonight to the Devils and the Rangers, mainly for Brad. We're also going to sprinkle in a little bit of Flyers talk in there a little bit somewhere within the show. And then we're also going to do another live reaction for you guys because this is playoff hockey. You can't get enough live reaction during playoff hockey. We got the Jets and the Golden Knights coming up at 9:30 as well. Got lots to talk about in between about the first night of the playoffs from last night. So let's get to it. Hit that like, hit that subscribe, tell your friends to do the same. Let's go. Time to talk some playoff hockey.
Oh my God! I'm embarrassed! You're flying!
Welcome in. It's almost time.
Ladies and gentlemen, to a brand new edition of the Hockey Happy Hour, live on A2DRadio.com. I am Matt Sinsudi, along with the Darkwing Brian Daly.
What up?
The Broken One, Rob Povia.
Yo, before we begin, I just want to give some love to Priz for accurately predicting the NCAA hockey champs, Quinnipiac, back in October. Good job.
Nice.
Chris.
And congratulations to Quinnipiac. And Mr. Switzerland himself, Mr. Blue Shirt, Mr. Broadway, watching his New York Rangers take on their arch rivals, the New Jersey Devils, right now, Mr. Brad Briere.
You misspoke their names. It's the Scumbag Devils.
Ah,
the New Jersey Scumbag Devils.
Agree to agree.
I see. All right, then.
No, agree to disagree on that one.
No, I don't think you get that from anybody here.
No.
So, and we welcome everybody to our first playoff edition of the Hockey Happy Hour. We have got a lot to talk about, as Brian said a little bit ago. Lots happened in games ones down in yesterday's matchups, both out west and here in the east. Couple upsets, a couple of craziness, a little free hockey action that we had yesterday. But tonight, we got some high-impact action coming your way with the Rangers, the Devils, and then, of course, like you said, Bri, Winnipeg and the Golden Knights. The final matchup of the evening will be the first battle between the Kraken and the Colorado Avalanche, the first ever playoff matchup for Seattle, so exciting there. And, of course, who can forget Tampa and Toronto, who are going right now, and not going too well for Toronto right now. But anyway, Hockey Happy Hour is brought to you by Specialized Physical Therapy. If you got any aches and pains, let me tell you, Joe Pavelski certainly does, then you need to contact the doc, Dr. Paul Vidal. You can reach him at www.specializedphysicaltherapy.com and make an appointment. Head on over to Cherry Hill or Burlington, and you won't have any more of those aches and pains anymore. So definitely check out the doc so you can be taken care of with that. And the poll question for tonight, brought to you by Baggio's Bread, located in Mount Laurel, New Jersey. If you're ever needing some good food and you want to get down there and have a nice little feast to celebrate the playoffs, if, say, your team made it, or even if your team didn't and you're having a party for it all the same, go on over to Baggio's Bread. Get yourself some of the best stuffed breads, tomato pies, sandwiches, cutlets, meatballs, and if you mention A2D Radio, you get 10% off of your in-store purchase. So a nice little value right there. And the poll question for tonight is, the Devils will upset the Rangers in Game 1. Agree or disagree? Right now, I'm sure there will be very heavy disagrees, but we still have the rest of the game to go, so let's not jump to conclusions. Let's not count the chickens before they're hatched here. As the playoffs go, anything can happen. So, gentlemen, it's playoff time. Let's talk about what we've seen so far with this Devils and Rangers game. Do you see the Devils climbing back into this, or are the Rangers doing that good of a job to where you think that this might go to a pretty strong win for the Rangers in Game 1?
I'm going to jump in first real quick. I'll make mine pretty quick. I'm going to agree to the poll. I'm not sleeping on the Devils. The experience the Rangers have is, it is what it is. You got two Stanley Cup winners on this roster on top of guys who've been in the league for a very long time and know the league and know this atmosphere. But to me, I like the speed of the Devils. They're much faster than the Rangers. They do have a similar amount of talent as the Rangers do. It's the X factors we were previewing the playoffs here, boys. It's going to be who's got the better goaltender. Right now, Shesterkin's been standing on his head. Vanacek looked like he was a little shaky in that first period, but he's settled down quite a bit. But the Rangers have really upped the tempo in the second period here. If they can beat Shesterkin one time in this period before they go to the break, I think that they can climb back into this game. Also, Rangers penalty kill, outstanding in that first period. Despite having a ton of offensive time, they didn't really allow any big chances, and they kept the Devils to the outside. So, tip of the hat to the Rangers PK. I think that's a big reason why the Rangers are in a 2-0 lead right now. So, I'm going to agree to the poll. I think the Devils do climb back in.
All right.
Maybe he's too tuned into the game right now, so I'm going to jump in real quick and be like,
I'm sorry.
That's all right.
You guys a chance.
I appreciate that.
The Rangers are on the power play, by the way. Just, hard to take my eye off of that.
Well, I'll be quick. I'll be quick with this because I'm just going to say this poll's bullshit because Devils are the higher ranked team right now. I get it that the Rangers have been there before, more experience as a young up and coming team, but they have the home ice advantage for a reason. They earned it. I don't think it would be an upset if the Devils came back and won in this game. I mean, don't get it twisted. I got Rangers win this series. I got them winning it in the 7-game series. I think there's going to be a lot of 7-game series. We got a lot of equally paired teams in this year's Stanley Cup playoffs. But I feel that the Rangers, in order to have, a good standing in the series, you got to take game one. Whoever takes game one just has that distinct statistical advantage. And to take it on the road would be that much sweeter with them up 2-0 right now. So I'm disagreeing because I don't think it's an upset, if that makes sense.
It makes sense. I did actually, when I created the poll, I didn't even think about that. But if you think, in the standings, it's not technically an upset. But I mean, if you look at the rosters on paper, regardless of where the seeding is, I still think it's an upset. But I agree. I think it's going to be a long series for these two teams, and I think the statistic is 68% of the teams that win game one usually win the series. So I mean, we'll see if that trend continues.
Okay, I'm going to put in my 2 cents. Weren't the Devils favored to win the series?
I don't know. I don't think so.
I thought that they were. So, Rangers need to win a game in New Jersey, which they haven't done all season. So, it's a well-known fact in almost every sport that game one is the easiest game to steal in a playoff series.
Right.
So if the Rangers can not only win game one, can win game one, okay, then, not only do they have home ice advantage again, but, they'll prove to themselves that they can also win in this arena because they haven't done that this year. The Devils are 2-0 against them.
Brad, you want to make the announcement?
May I state
Yes.
that the Rangers scored a power play goal by Jacob Trouba, and it's 3-0. Okay. It may have been deflected.
Damn it. Why do I have to root for the Rangers, man? I hate the Devils. Damn it.
I'm not rooting for either one of them. I still want that black hole to suck up both teams and then just see if the winner of Carolina and the Islanders gets to get a bye into the conference final. So
No, Brad, actually, Rangers are the favorite. They're plus 105, Rangers, according to Vegas Insider. Yeah, Vegas win. They have it in 6 games, 4 games to 2 at a plus 470.
That's coming back. That's coming back.
That's for the crossbar. Yeah.
Uh-oh.
High sticking, so that will probably.
Which I'm
not
surprised
count.
about. I thought you were right.
Lafreniere got it.
Yep.
Was it stick over the crossbar?
It looked like he had it pretty high.
Yeah, it looked like the heel was over.
Oh boy. Oh, that's a shame.
So let's see here. Got Ant here. What's up, Ant? Jake,
What's
That
up,
was a
Ant?
shame. That's a
going
shame.
on, Jake? And
That'll spark the Devils now.
unfortunately, that
Let's
does have a habit of doing
see.
so. Rob Brinkman
How can
saying
you tell-
those white
How
Rangers
can you tell
jerseys
from
are
that
fire.
angle, though?
You can tell from this one. It's
The
like
back
just above
angle.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, the back angle you can.
All right, let's see.
There's
Yeah,
that's
it's over. Damn it.
yeah.
Damn
Let's see here. Eric
Not by much, but
Guerin
it's still
saying,
over.
yeah.
You know something? That would have went in even if you didn't deflect it. That's the shame of it. Because he went down early. That's not going to count.
No goal. All right, so now the fans in the Prudential Center and the Rock can get a little bit fire under them now that they are not down 3-0 in this game. I'm sure
That's a
Gerard
shame.
Gallant is going to be very furious about that. More at his team than the call. So let's see here. Eric Guerin saying, "Let's go Rangers."
He doesn't look all that mad. He's just saying, "Let's go." So, I mean, the Devils know they're in trouble tonight. They know. They just caught a break.
We got Damien chiming in. Hey guys, what's up? What's up, brother?
Damien, that's our brother from down under.
Swoopy saying,
Everybody
"My
comes together
guys."
during the playoffs. Everybody
damn
gets
right.
together.
Yep.
We're getting the band
Yep.
back together. Let's go.
We're going on another tour, boys. This will be our 8th farewell.
That's a shame
See.
it didn't count. Oh well.
Larry Aquilini.
We already got a power play goal from Kreider, though, so I guess two would be asking for too much, right?
Probably.
Larry Aquilino said the Flyers in 7 in 2032. Oh man.
Hey, with a good summer, they could get themselves right back in this. If 92 points is what it takes to make the playoffs, they're not as far away as you might think.
Oh, and that one will count for the
That's
Rangers. Yep. Whew.
I haven't seen it yet. Score! There you go. That was Lindgren, folks. The guy that's been hurt for the last 20 games. And
That
it's
was a soft
3-0,
goal.
and it could be 4-0 right now. That's a terrible goal, by the way, to give up by.
Yeah,
the goalie.
Vanacek completely allowed that to get by him, and
How do you let it go on the short side on a bad angle?
Yeah, that's a rough one. That's one Vanacek's gonna definitely. That's gonna be in his head rent free.
He was down way too early. I mean, not that I could have scored on that, but I mean, if I was really good, I probably could have.
I mean, you got to think, and a shot like that, it does look like he's
He was
There's
down
a little bit
he
of
was
luck on
down way
his-
too early. I mean, it's not even close. I mean, he's going down. He's nervous. There is something to be said about playoff experience in hockey.
no, of course, absolutely.
There really is. I mean,
I think the patience from Lindgren on that play was the best part of that goal, is because he gave himself enough time and waited for Vanacek to make another move.
yeah, and if all
saw a spot
of
open
all the
up and he
guys on the
sniped it.
team to score, if you were like a compulsive gambler, and you were betting like on someone scoring a goal tonight for the Rangers, I don't think you would be betting Lindgren would be the one to score a goal, because I think he scored one goal all season.
And Swoopy saying, Brad, the Rangers need to get back to the Statue of Liberty uniforms. They are awesome.
Yeah, they are awesome.
But
Brad, that's what happens though. When it comes playoff time, it's those unsung heroes that just come forth and pop goals.
Yeah, and that's a big one. So, the Rangers to me just look like it just seems like they're a little bit more confident team. What? So they're going to call a penalty on a faceoff violation? Did Bettman put in a call because he doesn't want to see a slaughter on the on a nationally televised game? Come on.
I will say
that was a stupid play by Mott. That was a bad play. I take it back.
I was gonna say he. I was
What the
gonna say
hell
he
was
just
he doing?
use his hand. He's got his ticks tied or ticks.
Yeah,
his
it's not.
stick
If
tied
it
up.
was a face-off in your own zone, I can understand doing that. But come on, what are you doing? You don't need to be doing that. Now
It's
you
the
give him a
same-
chance to get back in the game.
It's like the
It's a
same
big
as
opportunity.
right.
Yeah, the
It's the
Rangers just
same
opened
as
the door.
if a player closes his hand over the puck. It's like, what the hell are you thinking? Like, you know you're going to get in trouble for that.
Yeah,
It's
but there was
instinct,
no
though,
reason.
Maddie. It
There was
takes
no
over.
need to do that.
Right. That's
It's
true.
like center ice.
Right.
Let's see. DB saying, I think the first round will be like last year where we have multiple game sevens. I could see at least 4 this year.
100%.
I could agree with that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. How about LA last night?
Yeah, oh yeah. We'll definitely talk about LA and we'll talk about what they pulled off against Edmonton. 2-on-1 here for the Rangers and a save
refs.
from Vanacek.
The refs fucked Edmonton. That's all I'm saying.
Look at this. They gave the puck away, and wow, nice save there.
Yeah, it was a good 2-on-1 chance. Good
Yep.
row with the shot, but Vanacek got that glove out.
See, here's the thing. Right now, the Devils are a sleeping tiger. Okay, they're hibernating right now. You don't, or is it a bear? I guess it's a bear. They're a sleeping
Usually it's a
bear. Don't. Yeah, sorry, wrong animal. Don't wake up the bear. Okay, don't poke him. Don't prod him. Okay, just no. Stop doing that, Rob. Stop doing that. Don't just leave. Just be quiet. Don't start any fights. Just keep playing your game, and don't wake this team up because they can score quickly. We know that.
Is it so bad to want chaos? I mean, is it really
Not when
that
you're
bad
winning.
of a thing?
No, not when you're winning, When you're losing, you want to do that to try to. They've got it set up well.
Yeah, but like I said, the
Well,
penalty kill in the first period was really good for the Rangers. They did a lot of good things while forcing Devils to get outside, not getting any good chances, and they're doing a good job here on this one as well.
Yeah, Tyler
Prism-
Mott right now is holding his breath.
Yeah, he's thinking like, "Oh God, please
He's
let
lucky,
this 9
he's
seconds
lucky.
go by."
He's lucky that Tortorella isn't the coach. He may not see the
Oh.
ice again.
Torch
See-
would have fucking chewed his ass out right then and
could you
there.
imagine? Let me tell you something. When they get in the locker room, okay, which is like in another minute, you know there's going to be some screaming at Mott. Or if not screaming, he's going to be like, "What were you thinking? A
You dumb
face-off at
fuck."
center ice?" I mean, I can understand like if the goaltender's pulled and there's like 10 seconds to go in the game, and you don't want the other team to Hughes is standing right behind, and you're worried you're going to lose the face-off, and Hughes is going to get a shot from the slot. Okay, that's when you make a face-off violation,
Right.
not at center ice after you just score a goal.
So Prism saying I have Winnipeg beating Vegas in 7. Interesting. He has an
I know.
upset
Hot
there.
take.
I have
Nice.
Vegas in 5, I believe.
We
In
got
your in your pool, Rob. I got in last night. I made my picks.
That's not my pool. That's our pool.
Our
I-
pool.
we-
Oh,
and
okay.
there's still time to
Well,
there's still time
Rob
to jump
made
in.
me,
By the way,
Rob made me go in, so I had to go in.
Rob made you go in.
I'll blame me. Okay, blame me.
He literally had.
He was twisting my arm through his imagination, and of course, I gave in.
He had a telepathic gun to your head.
Yes, I did.
But no, I'm glad you brought this up because I'm sure we'll be diving into our brackets later on in the show. But right now, you still got 22 hours to jump in because it doesn't lock until the first game 2. It's titled Hockey Happy Hour Bracket Challenge, A2D Radio. I'll post the invite in the comments below.
Yeah, you guys should join in. It's a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, the bracket challenges are always a lot of fun. Will saying NHL playoffs gets me amped up. It gets everybody amped up. I'm amped up.
Get
This is
amped.
the most amped I've been all fucking year since
Get
the
it,
fucking
Maddie,
season
get it.
started.
And you know what? And the hostility is high. Like,
I mean,
you get very like when you watch a game during the season, okay? You get happy when you're watching on TV if somebody scores, okay? But in the playoffs, you seriously get happy when the team scores. I mean, it's just so much different. But boy, I'll tell you what. Right now, as I said, the Rangers just have to don't poke the bear. Keep doing everything you're doing. They're playing good. They're playing well defensively. They play the Devils enough to figure out how to beat this team. So let's go ahead and do it.
well, it is the end of the second period, and it is 3-0 Rangers. So right now they've got a commanding lead. However, Brad, I do remember you said
the dreaded
right,
3-goal lead.
right.
Not
I
over.
do recall you saying that a few times. So.
Now, if it gets to 4-0, then I'll be pretty confident. But I listen. They had the last time they went to New Jersey. Okay, they had a 3-1 lead in the third period, and they blew it and lost in overtime. And it all started because they started a parade to the penalty box. And the Rangers are one of those teams that sometimes plays stupid hockey, and they just start taking stupid penalties. I don't know why that happens, but there's a couple of guys in this team, particularly what's his name, the center, our second round, Vincent Trocheck. He takes a lot of really stupid penalties, which are hard to understand. Keandre Miller also seems to do that as well. So, just guys, control yourselves. Don't give them anything. Make them have to score at even strength, because they won't score at even strength against us. Not 3 times, but they could score on their power play. We cannot give them any more power plays.
I will say there was a wise man named Forrest Gump who once said, "Stupid is what stupid does." But
Yes.
DB is saying, "I'll take the Rangers' experience over the Devils' youth and talent." Meanwhile, Greg's saying, "What up, fellas? Playoff hockey is here. Let's go." See, even Greg's amped up, and Greg's usually Mr. Negadelphia. So
He is.
That weird Wabbit 99.
let's go, Devils. So
Yeah, the rabbit. You got to spell it with a W. Come on now. I mean, if you really want to take on the Bugs, the Bugs tradition, it's got to be with a W, not an R.
Now, remember, ladies and gentlemen, since it is the playoffs, and Mr. Brad Ryer here is a Rangers fans, to all you Devils fans out there, remember, it is open season. So back and forth you may go. And remember, we don't play by any rules here. It's no DQ. So have fun.
Thunderdome, bitch. Thunderdome.
Yeah, it is pretty much prison rules here.
Oh, Toronto just scored.
What's the
Big
score
goal
in that game
for them. I believe O'Reilly scored that.
I haven't looked at this game yet. I've been watching my intrigue is in this series because I know this is going to be a very good series. So I haven't really looked at the scores yet. So let's do a scoring update real fast.
Go right ahead.
I mean, there's only really one other game. So
right going on right now.
I'm sitting there like there's like 12 games going on right now. No, it's 3-1 Lightning midway through the second period.
Right.
3-1. Oh boy.
Yeah, O'Reilly just scored, and nice goal. He took advantage of a rebound opportunity. So, or actually, I think it was a pass.
And like an idiot, I went and picked Toronto because I just couldn't help myself.
Nope.
It's only game 1, and it's the second period. O'Reilly just scored a power play goal. That might get them motivated enough. There's still plenty of time.
Yeah, this is true.
I
And
also
Toronto
picked
was awfully
Toronto. That's
explosive.
why I'm trying to will it into existence. But I don't want to be wrong.
Picking Toronto. I mean, haven't we not learned our lesson?
Listen, I'm
How
waiting.
many times do we have to learn our lesson?
Listen, at some point, Toronto's going to win their playoff series, and then when they do, they're going to go on some amazing fucking run, and they're finally going to shed that whole damn thing. It's like Washington. When they finally beat Pittsburgh, that was it. All bets were off, and they won the Stanley Cup.
That's exactly how that went. Yes.
And it's like I said earlier. It's like I said when we were doing the previews. Like that series is, we know it's going to be a very big back and forth offensive series. To me, it's going to come down to goaltending, similar to the Devil series here with the Rangers.
Right.
It's going to be back and forth. Goaltending is going to be.
I think Shesterkin is a much better goaltender than either one of the Devils' goaltenders.
Oh, I agree. Oh,
Even when they're both,
wholeheartedly.
even when they're playing well, I think Shesterkin is still better than either one of these guys.
Oh, for sure. There's not even a question in your mind or in anybody's mind.
That's the one advantage they do have.
Mm-hmm. But like I said earlier, like the speed of the Devils, I think they could outmatch the Rangers in that aspect. They just have to be able to get a lead and just get a goal at this point. But you could see through most of this first and second period here, the Devils' offense is blowing by the Rangers' defense, and they're creating opportunities. Shesterkin has just been so good early on here in this series. It's just, I think once they break through though, it's the walls.
Oh yeah, that can definitely happen.
That's what I'm thinking. The same thing here with Toronto and Tampa, because they were having trouble getting a puck by Vasilevsky. Now they've gotten one by him, so now they can get that confidence in them to start and try and build off of that.
Yeah, and it's going to be a long series. So would the Devils rather have game one? Absolutely. Like stated earlier, statistically, the team who wins game one typically wins the series. But in a series like this, where it's pretty evenly matched,
yeah, and I don't know,
long, brutal series.
Yeah, but I do think home ice in this series is pretty important.
Oh, for sure.
And, if the Rangers get it after game one, then the Devils all of a sudden are in a must-win situation game two. That's the problem. That's the problem with teams that lose the first game on the road. At home. If you lose game one at home, all of a sudden you almost have to win game two.
So Luke Shen just went to the box. What a shock. Power play for Tampa. Although Tampa got away with one because there was a clear embellishment in front of Samsonov that was not called. Literally, one of the players on Toronto just tapped him, and he flung himself to the ice like he'd just been shot. And it's like, oh my God.
That sounds like my buddy Corey Perry. That's something he would do.
Hey, leave Corey out of this.
I'm sorry, Brian. That is one guy. Who was it that beat that living daylights out of him on the Rangers the last time they played the Penguins? Ben Harper. When Ben Harper beat him up, I was so glad to see that.
Stamkos took way too long to take that shot. He couldn't settle the puck.
They had some good chances, though.
I mean, Stamkos is having chance after chance after chance on this power play.
That one probably would have been way more dangerous, but it got blocked off. Let's see here. Prism saying, speaking of farewell tours, I'm going to the NoFX farewell tour this Friday. Oh, nice, man. Well, you have a good time, brother.
Enjoy the weekend.
Hey, man, you know what? Hey, they're rocking it. Let them go. What would you say? Would you say that they were like one of the better known bands or more underrated?
NoFX? Underrated.
Yeah. Underrated? Yeah, I would agree.
Totally underrated. I mean,
ironically enough.
But if you're into that style of music, they're legendary. Like if you're into that ska punk, like I love ska punk, like Goldfinger, Less Than Jake, the Mighty Mighty Boss Tones, NoFX, all them bands. They're legendary. They're legends in their genre, but they are very underrated.
Yeah. Ironically enough, since we're watching hockey, that was actually how I discovered NoFX because one of their songs was in one of the NHL games. So
that's how I found Goldfinger. I was playing Tony Hawk.
Nice.
It's on Superman.
Yeah, let's see here.
Is that a penalty shot?
Good question. Let's see here.
Shouldn't that be a penalty shot? He looked like he was ahead of the field.
They're showing some of those opportunities there. I'll see a replay here in a minute.
Looks like Toronto was blocking all those shots. Yeah, they were. Oh no.
Yeah, no penalty shot, but there's going to be.
There was somebody behind him. Yeah, there were guys behind him.
Larry saying, seriously, can anybody beat the Bruins? Well, we'll have to wait and see. A couple guys I follow on YouTube were saying that they weren't exactly thrilled by Boston's play last night, that they kind of got away with a little bit of sloppiness here and there.
They did. They did.
Yeah.
But in all fairness, Florida can score.
Right. It just Allmark was doing very well last night.
He's been all season. I mean, that guy is just right now. He's killing it. He's been killing it all. He's been killing it all season. I mean, what can you say about him?
True. Ted with 199 delivered to us. Thank you very much, Ted. Saying this game between the Devils and the Rangers, obviously, this game is like Hitler versus Bin Laden. Nobody wins.
Oh, damn!
I'm almost.
Awful.
A part of me.
You know, that's what I used to say when the Flyers and Islanders used to play.
Well,
I would root for injuries.
I will say it must have been a little hard for you, considering the fact that I don't think that you would have known who Bin Laden was back in the 80s.
Good
but I mean, you would have known who Hitler was.
Well.
But
yeah, but it was still that way. You know, I understand the point they're trying to make.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Yeah,
but I will say I'm almost half tempted. Ted, I gotta ask, which team is Hitler and which team is Bin Laden? I kind of gotta know which one.
I don't think I want to know.
They're both terrible, but still, I just gotta know which one.
Bin Laden has to be the Devils. No. Bin Laden has to be the Rangers. The Rangers have a Jewish guy in their team. Yeah, Schneider. So I believe Schneider and Fox are both Jewish. So we can't call it that. We can't call the Rangers that.
Hi, caramba. So how about them Oilers last night?
Right. So, and saying, how about them Oilers last night? Going lol. I said last month, if they lose a first-round series again, they need a big changes this offseason because you can't do the same thing over and over and expect different results.
Why the Leafs
insanity. Although, to be fair, though, the Leafs were very active at the deadline. They were really trying to bulk up their team for a deep playoff run.
Yeah.
Whereas the Oilers a little bit more cap strapped, so they are kind of in the position of, well, what we got, boys. Let's go.
Pretty much.
And let's see here. So, I mean, yeah, the Oilers, no getting around it. They tough loss for them last night. It wound up being a pretty dominant performance at first. They had a 2-0 lead, then eventually they got 3-0 lead, then a goal scored by Kempe, pulled the Kings back. Oh, I'm sorry, it was 2-1. Kempe brought it back within range, and then they immediately scored again to make it 3-1. Seemed like the Oilers were going to always stay 2 steps ahead, and then the third period happened. That third period's a tricky bitch, and I have no idea what the hell Toronto was thinking on that power play. That was lazy as shit, the way they gave that up. But anyway.
How about getting the puck into the front of the net?
Right. Just nobody there, so you just shoot the puck over to the corner where nobody's there. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing?
And there you go. There you go. At least they took a shot. It may have been blocked, but at least they're trying to put it towards the net. I mean, the D passes are not going to go into the net.
So, yeah. Anyway, long story short, Kings tied it up. Third period was a tricky bitch for the Oilers. They couldn't figure it out, and then overtime and a goal scored by Iafallo. Oh, there it is. Just saw it.
William Nylander.
Big goal right there. 3-2.
I don't think Vasilevsky ever saw that shot.
No, he was screened.
Yeah, he went down. He went down on the other side of the net.
And you know what? It all started with O'Reilly getting that power play goal. Remember how when he came over in the trade deadline, he already started making an impact for Toronto, his first game? Yep. Scores here tonight on that power play goal, and there you go, man. You get another one here on the power play. And
he never saw it. Screened. Nah, he was completely screened.
He never saw it. Tavares did a great job.
Yeah, Tavares did a great job standing in front of the net like that.
All right, so it is now 3-2, so stay tuned. Keep your eyes locked on Tampa and Toronto. This game is not over yet.
Lead.
Yep. Swoopy saying, what a
Giving
freaking...
Devils fans faith. A little bit of hope.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. The only thing I would say though about the Devils is, they had a power play at the end of the second period on a stupid penalty the Rangers committed, and they really didn't do much with it.
No, like I've been saying, like first period, Rangers PK is the reason why the game is where it is. Three successful killed penalties in the first period, a fourth in the second period, no real chances.
Yeah,
I
and
think
the Rangers,
that's a big thing to take away from that.
And the Rangers also scored on a power play, which really kind of rubbed salt in the wound there.
Yep.
Let's see. Swoopy saying, what a freaking lie. Whoever posted saying Cutter
this is getting very, very physical now.
Flyers doing. I did not see that actually. So
it's a fake report.
Oh, it's a fake report? Oh,
it's a fake report. Some guy putting shit up there for clicks.
Clickbait. I love them. And I believe Toronto's getting called on a penalty. It'll be, looks like a hold, I think the ref was calling.
McCabe and Maroon getting into it.
Yeah, it's starting to get a little chippy.
You mean the fake tough guy, Patrick Maroon?
They call Big Rig.
Yeah, he's half woman, half man. He's not really a man.
Funny.
Yeah, I can't. That's one guy I can't see.
Oh, god damn! Actually, more like elbowing on that one. Holy shit!
Yeah, you see the elbow come up. It's blatant.
Yeah, McCabe definitely gave him an elbow.
All right. Well, at least Isamon shrugged that one off. Damn, that was nasty. That shot.
He's going to the locker room.
Well, I think they're going to do concussion protocol to be on the safe side.
I don't think he's got a concussion though. He was walking off pretty decently.
Let's see here. So Priz saying, never doubt my son, Don Juan Kempe the Pempe. Well said. DB saying Leafs are doing Leaf things right now against Tampa.
You mean getting back in the game and then committing a penalty? Yeah, that would be something they like to do.
Joe saying, well, actually, no, not that. Let's see. For saying reasons to doubt Vegas: 1, goaltending; 2, Eichel; and 3, T-Bay. Interesting.
It's funny that he mentioned Eichel because I was going to mention him too. Has Eichel ever played in a playoff game?
Last year. And it's 4-2.
No, Vegas didn't make the playoffs last year.
Yeah, that's right.
Did they not?
Oh, did they score?
No, they missed.
Tampa Bay just scored.
And all right, so it is 4-2.
That's so Toronto.
Well, I mean, are you really that shocked?
No. No, that's the thing. It's like when they committed a dumb penalty that there was no reason to take a run at the guy. And with Tampa Bay's power play, you can't give them power play opportunities. I mean, haven't the Leafs learned that? How many years have they been playing Tampa Bay in the playoffs? I mean, how many times have they played Tampa Bay in the playoffs? Shouldn't they know by now that you can't do that? Yeah, it was a penalty, by the way.
Braden Point just being Braden Point.
Oh, he took a penalty now. Looked like he slashed somebody.
Ted saying, does Austin Matthews not resign if they lose another first-round series? I mean, it definitely is a strong case for Austin Matthews to say, you know what? Yeah, I'm out of here.
Oh, I don't know.
I mean, I get it. I would understand the frustration, though, if he decided, you know what, you guys can't seem to get the job done, so I'm out.
How about blaming himself once in a while? Right? I mean,
he
needs to be he needs to be the best player on the ice.
Look at himself in the mirror. Yeah.
Precisely. You know,
Right,
you're the big
right.
star. How about scoring a couple of goals and willing your team to a win? I mean, that's that's not good. That's just
Um,
it's so Leafs. That's if you look up the Toronto Maple Leafs in an encyclopedia, you'll see a picture. You'll see a picture of a penalty of somebody committing a penalty. At the worst
That's
possible
funny.
time.
That's funny.
is that like the legal definition? The Webster Dictionary definition.
Yeah.
Devils and the Rangers are back on about a minute back into the third period. They just showed a stat that I think is very important here. Devils are 0 for 4 on the power play.
Ooh.
0 shots given up.
Wow.
They haven't had a shot in 4
They
power
haven't
plays.
had a one shot in 4 power plays.
Well, the Rangers better not
Wow.
keep giving them opportunities because we know that's a bad thing.
There was a chance there.
That's still, though, that is, wow. If the Devils lose this badly, that's where you say, okay, so we know what the Devils really need to work on because they didn't make the Rangers pay one damn bit on their power play.
Well, the next goal in this game is going to be huge.
So let's see. Ted's saying, do you guys want the NHL games to keep going into multiple overtimes?
Yes.
I don't mind it. I love it. I love
Yes.
watching overtimes.
It's the
Seeing who
playoffs.
might score. Hell yeah.
As long as it's not my team, I'm good with it.
Yeah.
Not that I
when
have
it's
to worry
your
about
team,
that
yeah.
It is nerve-wracking.
Yeah. I mean, Briere, our two teams know something about that. I mean, hell, the Flyers had that 5-0 tier with Pittsburgh, and I believe, what was it, the Ducks and was it Chicago that had that 5-0 tier as well?
I don't know if they got the 5. I think it was 3 or 4.
What about the Rangers Devils overtime in Game 7 in 94?
Did that go to one?
Triple overtime.
Wow.
Yeah, triple. And
Damn.
the Rangers were completely dominating, but the fear that you have is when your team is dominating and getting shot after shot and not being able to score, that the other team is just going to come down the ice on one stinky shot and score. Because that's usually what happens.
Ooh, that was a bad pass there by Nico. He needed to take that. He just needed to throw that on net.
Let's see here. Ted's saying half woman, half man. What bath does he use? Rad Brad, a.k.a. on the fence, a.k.a. Swiss Brad. Oh, my God.
Okay, let's see. Well, listen, I really don't like him, so yeah, maroon is a maroon. So yeah, he would use the ladies' room.
Oh, here's Lily Yava. What's up, brother? Haven't seen you in a minute. And he's
Okay.
showing out the
Matto.
Everybody coming back to it's like Rick James, man. Come on back for the NHL playoffs.
Everybody's in now.
Damn, somebody just got
it's the greatest playoff tournament in
Tampa.
sports. It's the greatest, and people could say the March Madness tournament, sure, is a great tournament too, but you just see the whole world all of a sudden become hockey fans during the Stanley Cup playoffs.
Oh yeah.
For that.
Somebody's
It's
down
the same
on Tampa.
craziness,
And
the
he's
same
hurt.
unpredictability.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Who's hurt on Tampa?
I'm not sure yet, but he went down in a heap. He got launched.
Shoot it. Oh, shoot it.
Trying to read the name on the back. I think it's 21. I don't know if anybody knows the number for
Point.
the play. Point? Oh, okay.
If
It's not
21,
him. It's 81. Never mind. My bad.
Isn't that
Anthony
Kucherov?
Chernak, I think, is 81 for Tampa.
Yep, it's Chernak. Yep, Chernak. You're right.
Chernak, okay. I thought it was Kucherov.
No, he's 89.
Oh, okay.
Bunting,
I knew he was an
Bunting-
80-something.
Yeah.
Ooh, Bunting kind of jumped up to hit him too. Ooh, that's they're gonna look at that. They're gonna do what they did last night with Dumba's hit on Pavelski. They might do a 5-minute major review, see if there's gonna be something worth of that.
I'm gonna flip back and
Again, just look up in the dictionary. Toronto Maple Leafs, stupid penalty. Actually, no, under stupid penalty, okay, in the dictionary, there'll be just a Maple Leaf symbol. No names, no nothing. Just an emblem.
Yeah, well, they're taking Chernak off the ice. Obviously, they're probably going to want to do concussion protocol. He might be hurt. He might not have a concussion because his head didn't hit the ice.
Yeah, but his neck looked like it whipped.
Yeah, it did. It looked bad.
You don't necessarily have to hit your head. If you've had concussions before, just a jolt like that can do it.
That's a good point, actually.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember.
He's getting booted.
Remember Chris Miller on the Atlanta Falcons guys?
Sure. Oh yeah.
Okay, that happened to him.
Yep.
I love the look on the Maple Leafs coach, like he didn't expect it to happen. I'm like, come on, bro. After what happened with Dumba last night, you kind of have to expect it to happen. They're gonna have to make an example of somebody. It just takes one person.
He has to sit there. He has to be sitting there just saying, "What the." How?
I mean, I'm watching the hit now. It's not as egregious as Dumba's was. Not that Dumba's was like dirty or anything like that, but you see the elbow come up, and he clearly does elbow him.
Yeah.
But it looks like the brunt of what happened to Chernak there was on the whip of the neck after he hit the ice.
Yeah. So hopefully Chernak's okay. Obviously, he's off the ice. He may not return for the rest of the evening. So 5-minute power play to the Tampa Bay Lightning. Now, obviously, this may have been a little bit longer of a review. May have been. And they may not have called a 5-minute had it not been for what happened last night with Pavelski. But I think because of that, I think there's something to be taken into consideration over that because of what happened yesterday.
Yeah, I think they made the right call on Dumba, though. I think it was just a 5-minute major. I didn't think it was that dirty. Again, I was listening to.
Is it a match penalty or is it just a 5-minute major?
It looks like it was just a 5. Was it a match?
Bunting, I think, was a match.
If it's a match in the playoffs, he might be suspended for the next game. In the playoffs, don't you get suspended for a game if you get a match penalty?
I think you do.
I think you do.
I mean, like I said, I figured they were going to make an example of somebody after that. I don't think they want these kind of things to pile up. So
no, they don't need a lot of people I mean, listen, guys are going to get hurt in the playoffs because it's such wow. They just really nailed Hughes just now. That he's not hurt, but wow.
Yeah, Bunting's gone.
All right then. So it was a match penalty for Bunting.
So somebody needs to just verify that for me. But I believe a match penalty is a 1-game suspension, so he may not be in for game 2 now.
It's up to the league's discretion. It could be more than 1 game.
Yeah, but it's automatically 1 game though, for sure.
Right.
Rangers have a 2-on-1. Oh, that could have finished it.
Ted saying, let me write that again. Do you think the NHL is happy or wants multiple games to go in OT? I know what we want. Does Bettman want crazy OT? Does it make more money? I think OTs definitely make more money because they're exciting. The idea of, the last goal being scored is the one to finish it. Oh, did Tampa just score? I think they just called that a goal for Corey Perry.
Oh.
Hey!
Corey Perry.
He's back, baby.
He strikes again.
Yes, he does. Hey, listen, he may not be the 40-50 goal scorer he was in Anaheim, but I'll tell you this. He scores in clutch moments, especially in the playoffs.
He always has. He's a pest that scores. He drives you crazy and scores goals. I mean, that's what more do you want out of life?
Right. And let me see here. Yeah, he kind of just slaps the puck off the post in the pad. It just kind of sits there, and he just tucks it in through Samsonov. Kind of a soft goal for him to give up there.
Wow, Shesterkin just made a great save.
Yeah, he did.
Wow, that was here we go.
100%.
Here we go.
I mean, that's an obvious question. Of course they want it. And you'll even see refs making sure they make up penalty calls and make sure that it's even to elicit it too.
Miller just came off the ice and went right to the locker room. I wonder what happened.
Oh darn.
I wonder what happened there.
Off the post. That would have been a huge goal for the Devils.
Yeah,
All
that was a nice. I thought that was a save. That was a post.
So they're reviewing the goal to see if it completely crossed the line.
And while that review's
between
going
Tampa
on,
and Toronto.
I'm gonna drop my 2 cents in on Ted's comment here. I don't necessarily think overtime makes more money because you're not getting more ad space in there. You're literally just going from the start of overtime to the end of overtime. So I don't think there's much more money to be made there, but it's definitely going to get you more views. I'll tell you that right now.
Exactly. It's about the water cooler talk, man.
Mm-hmm.
It creates more buzz and it creates more ratings for subsequent games.
Yep.
Right. Yeah. And the way you generate that,
listen,
and since you don't
guys.
Right. And then
usually by then it's all shut down. They shut it down like halfway through the third period.
Oh,
true.
Okay.
Yeah. And even but even so, that you still generate revenue later on because you can sell that look at this crazy ass game that went this many overtimes. You know, when the playoffs roll back around again, you know, you can say, hey, listen, exciting overtimes to grow the audience even more so.
Exactly, and that's what's going to wind up happening over that is, like I said, it's you're going to get more views, you're going to get more marketing, you're going to make money further down the line, but you're not going to make that money initially at that moment in time because there's no money to be made because there's no advertisements unless you're going to a commercial or unless you're in between the periods there. But more times than not, you're not really making any money off of OT. You're more making it off of the following year because you're going to have more people chiming in and viewing the product because they're like, whoa, what was this? This was insane. Like this was the craziest 20 minutes of hockey I've ever seen in my life.
So Toronto just challenged the call.
They should because you know what? I didn't see the puck all the way in.
It looked like it did, though. Like, for a split second, it looked like there was white between the puck and the line. But then again, it was so quick that it's like a blink and you miss it moment. But then again, they'll show it again.
Miller took a puck to the face. That's why he went to the bench.
Ooh, that's a rough one.
Oh, okay.
You should be fine.
Good.
He doesn't look like he was really bleeding all that bad.
Yeah, that's just scary more than anything else.
Oh, absolutely it is. Especially after seeing what happened to Ian LaPerriere a few years ago.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So let's see. Prism saying Dumba has a new name, Bumba, the fucking bum ass.
I mean, he had. I feel like he was a bum before that.
I was going to just call him Dumbo.
He was a bum long before that hit.
In my opinion, anyway.
There's the puck.
So it is a good goal. It will stand, and it'll be 5-2 Tampa, and Toronto now officially loses their timeout.
Yeah.
Okay, so all the good hope that Toronto generated in the second period has been ass-blasted out of a cannon. With 2 goals scored by Tampa here in the second period.
Right back to a 3-goal deficit. Wait, that was quick.
Yeah, and it is Corey Perry's 52nd career playoff goal. That's a nice amount right there for Corey Perry.
That's a lot of playoff goals.
The man comes in clutch in the playoffs. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, that's true. I'm sure he did.
He does.
I bet you he did. Did he score a lot of clutch goals in the 07 run, Briere?
Mm-hmm. Oh, no, because he was still, I think he was in his rookie year or his second year. But after that, he really started to take off with the goal scoring. And like I said, he had the MVP year. But he would score a ton of goals in the playoffs for Anaheim through their push from 2007 to 2015.
He played on the same line as Getzlaf, right?
Yep. It was him, Getzlaf, and Bobby Ryan for a long time.
That's some line. Jeez.
Yeah, that is a good line right there. That explains a lot about why Anaheim was such a dangerous team.
Yeah.
And then you got to think of the depth, too. You had Solani still at that point. You had Saku Koivu at that point. You had Chris Pronger for another year after the Stanley Cup.
Right.
A lot of good players.
Let's see. NHL saying, Ted saying, NHL playoffs are better. I don't go to college. It's the best versus college kids who may not even make it to the NBA. They never tap out in games. They're going 100% in all these comebacks. And let's see. Lily was saying, was a Flyers fan for 46 years, gave up on them. Must admit, I started watching again late in the season. I'm back. We need to win the lottery.
From your lips to God's ears. Let's go.
Right.
Let's just hope that Gary Bettman doesn't fix the lottery so that Sidney Crosby gets a first round pick to play with.
Is that even possible with the way the Penguins finished out this season? I pray to God not.
Yeah, because they missed the
playoffs.
I get that, but because they're so like higher up in the standings than everybody else.
Yeah, that's like a point. It's a 0.5% chance that they do it, something like that. But you know
what?
Within the outside of the top 5, they're not really going to change much. Maybe like a spot, but once you get inside of that top 5, you could potentially see a lot of different changes, as it were.
Let's hope so. So let's hope that doesn't happen.
As long as Anaheim gets number 1, I'm good.
Yeah.
Tampa has a 2-minute advantage that is about to end. And the second period is about ready to come to a close. So, oh my God, Tampa just scored again. With 0.1 second left in the period, they just scored.
Ooh, that's a backbreaker. 6-2 now.
Oh my Lord.
Yeah.
Oh my Lanta, this is not going well for Toronto at all. Points gets the goal.
So what do we have? The third period is going to be a night at the fights.
Pretty much. There's going to be some bad blood in that third period. Because Tampa at this point is just running up the score.
That is a softie for Samsonov. He gave up a softie 5 seconds ago, and now he gives us another one. Good God Almighty! Woo! All right,
this game's going to the Rangers.
I am ashamed of myself for once again giving in to the Toronto hype.
Yeah, dude. It's easy to fall for it, like crystal meth, man. It's easy to fall for it.
Listen, man, when that guy was so convincing outside that Motel 8, man. He really was. Yeah. Such a nice guy.
Yeah, old lefty out there. The one with he's got 2 teeth missing in the front.
Oh my. Oh my.
Meanwhile, PK Subban is like dancing, and friggin' Mark Messier stand up and cry and laugh. And he's probably laughing his ass off at the way Toronto performed in that second period. But
man, I hate PK. He is so useless to the NHL. Like, I can't stand him. Like, why is he on NHL on ESPN? I was watching a segment towards the end of the season where he was sitting there grading everybody's suit walking into the freaking, like, who
I remember that.
Fucking cares?
I remember that. Yeah, that was.
All right, here we go. Now you got some rough stuff with the Rangers and Devils. Goudreau on Severson.
Here we go.
Yeah, I came back at the perfect time.
they're definitely, Severson was manhandling him, and Goudreau wasn't ready for a fight, and he started manhandling him. So I can understand why Goudreau's pissed off.
So let's see. Priz saying Dumba got his 5 minutes reduced to a 2-minute, but that was a targeting hit. Pavelski dumped the puck well before the hit. Not dirty, just fucking greasy.
I'll agree that it was greasy. It definitely was a borderline hit, but from what I saw,
Severson's a real tough guy. Punching a guy in the face while he still has a stick in his hand. That's real. That's just so devilish. Now the Rangers have another power play.
The Jets and the Knights are about.
Hey, you know what they say? The scum always sinks to the bottom.
The Jets Knights should be dropping the puck very shortly.
Right, I believe that's on ESPN2 in case anybody wants to catch that.
Put the game on mute. Listen to us. It's a perfect winning combination.
Correct.
Absolutely. So another power play for the Rangers, who can just about put this one away if they can score that fourth goal.
Oh yeah.
So
done.
Over under, how pissed off do you think the Devils fans are that they paid a lot of money to watch the Rangers go up 3-0 in this game, and the Devils kind of just give them a bunch of power plays?
Well, actually, I think only maybe that building has 19,000.
about that.
Yep.
Probably 16,000 of them are Ranger fans, so it won't be that bad.
Right.
I do see a lot of blue.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
It's not a far drive for New Yorkers, so it's not like it's a haul. It's not
Yeah,
like
No, that's true.
Yeah, listen, can I say it? Both Devil fans are going to be upset. Both of
Both
them.
Devil fans.
Yeah.
I think one is actually Bri's brother. So-
Well, I mean, there's 2 different Devils fans. There's like, some good loyal.
I mean, look at how much
loyalists.
blue. Look at how much blue is
Right.
in the stands. Seriously,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
I mean,
oh my lord!
Oh,
It
But
is
Brad,
now.
there are a few
There
loyal
you
Devils
go.
fans.
there
But
you
most-
go.
Got a goal?
Fox.
yeah.
Yeah, Ranger scored another one.
Turn out the lights. The party is over. That's what you get. That's what you get, Steverson, for being a
There's
punk.
a lot of blue. Holy shit.
Yeah, this is a Ranger road game. Did you know that?
No.
Well, because the other type of Devils fans don't realize the playoffs have started yet, and that's when they become Devils fans. They'll come, if they were to make it to the second round.
Right.
Well, if they had won this game, then they would have been like,
Oh,
"Oh,
that
man,
was
I'm a Devils
Kreider.
fan.
I'm
Did you watch
sorry.
that game? We're going. We're going.
We beat the fucking Rangers. Let's go. Yeah.
Kreider just scored from. Dare I say he scored from the Wayne Simmons office?
Maybe the James Van Riemdijk office.
Yes.
I'll
pretty
take either
much.
one, honestly, because Wayne did used to score a lot from there.
He scored so many goals from there.
Listen, I love Chris Kreider. You guys know that, but let's be honest. I have to be honest, guys. He's the biggest garbage man I've ever seen in the NHL. Phil Esposito used to be a garbage man, but at least Phil used to actually score some goals on shots. Chris just stands there. He's just such a good deflector. It's not easy to do that.
No, but you know what? They all count the same.
Brad, I swear to you, I thought you were going to say he's such a good boy, like he's a dog.
Oh.
I swear, I thought you were going to say that.
No, he's just a good deflector. Well, the dogs are not in the room now. My wife has full control of them right now.
For now.
Well, we have one that thinks he's a raptor. I said that she thinks she's a raptor. She can open doors, so
Nice.
yeah. She's a full grown doodle, So
Nice.
she can actually she puts her hand on the door and knows how to open the door. So
Well, this game's over. I'm going to put the Jets and the Knights on.
Good idea.
you see, this is where I can sit back and just love this game because being a Ranger fan, you just enjoy watching how frustrated the Devil fans are, and just knowing that they're all sitting right now crying because it's 4-0 now, and now the Devils will probably try to goon it up, and they don't really have a lot of good goons on their team anyway. Neither do the Rangers, but
No, but they're going to try and create some kind of energy to build off of heading into game 2 and try. And
unfortunately, Ben Harper
Ranger
isn't.
skin.
Yeah, Ben Harper isn't playing, so unfortunately, he's the policeman on the team now. So yeah, that's kind of unfortunate. But they still have Trouba and Goodrow, so they have a couple of guys that can mix it up if they want to.
Yeah, it's time to switch over for me. Winnipeg and the Knights. Both these games turned into blowouts.
I switched over too. It's like, okay. I mean, I'll check in on the third period just to see any updates.
If the Flyers were slaughtering the Devils, you wouldn't be changing the channel.
Oh, I would not be changing the channel at all. I'd be savoring every single second of that.
Exactly.
Kiss on their graves.
You know how much you guys know how much I can't stand the Devils.
Oh, trust me, I get it. As a fellow Devil hater, yes, it is a very strong.
I can't stand it. As far as I'm concerned, they should have just gone back to Colorado.
As a fan that is not really emotionally invested in any of these games that are going on right now, I can say with a clear conscience, I can turn these games off and not have an issue with it.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, of course. If Anaheim was doing doing this to the Sharks or the Kings, please tell me that you wouldn't savor every moment.
Oh, I'd be watching from puck drop to the final buzzer because it's
There
my
you
boys.
go.
They're my boys.
Yeah,
you gotta
exactly.
support.
But
You gotta
there's-
support your boys.
There's the flip side, though, is that when your team is in the playoffs, I don't know about you boys, but I go through the bottles of antacids. I'm tense. I'm on the edge of my seat. Now, if the team's not in, I just sit back and drink my tea like Kermit. You know what I mean?
It's a little different. Yeah, it's a little different. Hey, Rob, I'm a Knicks fan too, so I get it. And by the way, if anybody's wondering, the Knicks are getting destroyed, and I did mention last night on the Sports Hound, the lock of mankind was that the Cavaliers were going to smoke. We're absolutely going to smoke the Knicks tonight. So got one. Finally fixed something right.
By the way, Prism wants to know, I wonder how many meth addicts blame it on the Maple Leafs. Very good question.
In Canada, maybe.
It might be the whole population of meth addicts, to be honest with you.
All of them.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like you need to be to be a Maple Leafs fan. I feel like you need to be on something that's going to numb your body, so you don't feel just a continued disappointment from being a Leafs fan.
You think to say that the province mental hospital attendance seems to go up during the hockey playoffs in Canada?
Possibility.
It probably
Good possibility.
is.
Yeah,
but I will say this though. I tell a lie. I tell a lie. It is not just the Maple Leafs population of their fan base. It also is Vancouver. Because by God, you have to be on meth to be a Canucks fan too.
Oh yeah.
After the misery they've gone through, holy shit. You think that your team has it bad. Oh my God. Look back at Vancouver and just look at the depression that is.
Yeah, and that's been just year after year after year. And it started again. And it's, when it really started, when they lost to the Bruins in the Stanley Cup Finals. That's when it really started.
That was the beginning.
Because that was the beginning because they should have won that Stanley Cup that year. They had it 3-3. And they had Game 7 on their home ice, and Boston ran them out of the building.
Let's see. Ted's saying, do you guys think Torts would be able to coach Toronto over the hump? I don't know. He might just get very frustrated and pick a fight with Austin Matthews.
Well, we're probably going to be looking at a very different Toronto team next year because I don't know if Austin Matthews is going to re-sign. So we'll see what happens.
Is he is he an unrestricted free agent?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Oh boy, I could think of a couple of teams that he might sign with that really
Arizona.
Dangerous.
Joe's
Arizona.
Buffalo.
He's already expressed interest in going to Arizona, going to go play for his hometown team.
If Austin Matthews went
Where
to
are they
Arizona,
going to get the money to pay him?
Holy shit.
Go figure it out.
Arizona is at like the cap floor half the time. They'll have the money.
They'll have they got plenty of money.
Okay.
And a lot of the contracts are taken
I
on.
thought they were the cap floor because they have no money.
They don't. Well, yeah, I mean, technically they don't, but I mean, they'll find it because a lot of the contracts they're taking on are players that are in the final years of their deal. So they'll have plenty of money.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
But also on top of it, by the way, Joe says, "Yo, what am I, chopped liver over here?"
Yeah, man.
Not you, Joe.
Never. And I saw your question earlier. No, Bedard's coming to SoCal, baby. And I see, I think it was Mean Metal Mike. Bedard's going to California. He's going to Southern California, baby. Let's go, Bedard. And if they don't get Bedard, it's got to be Adam Fantilli.
Well, they're going to get a great player.
Yeah, one of those two guys.
Yeah.
Has to be one of those two guys.
Yeah,
otherwise, you fail that draft.
I still
I still think Chicago is going to end up getting. Well, Chicago may have messed up their opportunity by winning that game against Pittsburgh.
I still hate those those all gold jerseys that the Gold Knights have. I just think they're ugly as fucking sin.
They are bad. They are bad. God, how great would it be to see the Rangers shut them out in Game 1? Get a shutout at home.
Yeah,
I mean,
be careful because there tends to be some backlash in Game 2 after that. So
yeah, there'd be even more Ranger fans at the game.
That's not quite where I was going with that, but I mean, you're not wrong. But typically after a shutout in the NHL playoffs, the team that gets shut out usually comes out and just lights the lamp. So I mean, we'll see. We'll see. Game 2 is what's today? Thursday, I believe.
Thursday.
Yep.
All right, so let's see here. Ted's saying the ESPN hockey show is trash. TNT always does it better.
I agree.
Priz saying let's go Jets. As Priz did say, he does have the Jets beating the Golden Knights in the first round, so no surprise there.
Yeah, I have the Jets going all the way to the Cup. Or not the Jets, sorry, the Knights.
So Lily, I was saying it's 19,040 is the capacity for that Rangers Devils games, and Brad said about 16,000 of that. Do you think the 40 is also Rangers fans, or would you say that's the Devils?
They're probably Ranger fans.
Okay, so 16,040, gotcha.
Yeah, they're the Ranger fans from Long Island that
converted.
They're too lazy to go to Manhattan to see a game.
Well,
so they just hopped on the Verrazano Bridge and.
You know what the joke is, though? It's that you know what it is? It's that the fact that the Islanders are actually in the playoffs. That's why there's not that many Devils fans there. So, you know.
Tell you what, the Islanders lost a tough game last night.
They did. But that series, that game pretty much just proves that series is going to be close. It's going to be fucking close.
I picked the Islanders to win that series, by the way.
Yeah, I did too. It's going to be a rough one.
I'd like the Canes in that series, honestly. I think the power play came out hot for the Hurricanes last night.
It did. It did.
We have a penalty shot, boys.
Oh, really?
Yep. Hughes is going to get a penalty shot.
Should be a goal. But with the way Shesterkin's been tonight, no guarantees.
Yeah, that's definitely a penalty shot. Yeah. You can't argue that. Trouba did what he had to do.
Let's see here.
Okay,
Anaheim, Arizona, San Jose. Who drafts Bedard?
He scored.
So Hughes gets the goal.
So no shutout. But if I were him, I wouldn't even raise my arms. If I was a Devil fan, I wouldn't even be standing up clapping. I'd be just like, okay, well,
Mean Metal Mike also said most overpaid veteran, and Lil Yava's response was Tim Kerr. That's a little harsh. Tim Kerr was actually really good. I mean, maybe, do you think he was overpaid when he went to the Rangers towards the end of his career?
Oh, hell yeah. The Rangers were so irresponsible when they were just before the strike, when they were missing the playoffs every year. They're always signing 30-year-old free agents, and you know where that gets you in the NHL. That gets you nowhere.
Well, that got them dead last in the early 2000s when they tried to put that super team together.
Yeah, that never worked. Yeah, Messier was what, 40?
Yeah, they also went and grabbed Lindros.
Real quick, boys, I'm sorry to interrupt, right? Do you guys know who Mark Malusis is?
Yeah, he's on the Fan.
Right. He's been on the Fan or whatever. And
yeah, he's a big Redskin fan too. Commander fan.
Commander fan, right. So he's talking. He does some work for this other network that I've done some work for. I'm not even going to give him a little plug here. And he comes out and he's talking about getting people amped about that. And I love when you take people that are really good experts in other sports and they try to be like 4 for 4 and talk hockey. He's a self-proclaimed New York Ranger fan like yourself there, Brad, right? And he said, he picks the Bruins to represent the Eastern Conference, and he says my Rangers won't win. He says this literally, my Rangers won't win their first cup since 1940.
Since 1940?
Yeah, I was like,
why does he not count? He doesn't count 1994.
Apparently not.
It's a guy trying to talk hockey. You get what I'm saying? You know what I mean? So, so I just replied to the tweet. I'm like, 1994, and then I put the gif of John Travolta looking around.
Must have blanked out the 1994 season. That just was just a horrific season.
He's obviously not a real Ranger fan.
Super casual. I guarantee that.
Yeah.
He's super casual about hockey.
I just hate when people are sloppy. We all work so hard here at A2D Radio and get it exactly right. And these motherfuckers are so sloppy. And
Well, most of them are. By the way, the Rangers just scored again. So it's open.
I need to talk, but every time I talk, the Rangers score, just like Brian with the Flyers.
5-1 now.
That's actually true.
Pretty accurate.
Oh, Golden Knights had a really good chance there.
What do you boys see for this series? Winnipeg Knights.
This series length, I actually had the Knights winning in 5. I didn't think the series was going to go all that long, to be honest with you.
Wow.
So, sorry to the Winnipeg fans out there, but I think the Knights, if they get going, I don't know if Winnipeg counters.
I mean, not having Nikolai Ehlers
I would love
right
to see. I would love to see Winnipeg win the series,
right.
but I don't think they will. I think Vegas wins that series.
I mean, Vegas is missing Mark Stone still, I believe. Jonathan Quick isn't starting this game, which is kind of shocking to me. So I wonder if he's kind of banged up a little bit. But I mean, this Vegas team is still way too good. Defensively, they're still way too good. Winnipeg is getting a little bit older. I don't think they're as quick. They do have some really good players. I love Kyle Connor. He's one of my favorite players in the league right now. You saw Mark Scheifele, Blake Wheeler. They went out and got Nino Niederreiter, who's been pretty good for Winnipeg since coming over. They could very easily turn this into a very, very long series, but I think not having Nikolai Ehlers right now, I think that hurts that offense and that power play way too much. And I think if Vegas is the team we think they are, at least the team that I think they are, they could take advantage of that and end this series in 5.
Yeah, that's what I had. That's what I had. Vegas in 5. I had Vegas in 5 in this series.
Ooh.
I just always give credit to good goaltending, and they get that in spades there in Winnipeg. I think they could take 2 games, including Hellbuck stealing a game. You know what I mean? So
that's where their advantage is. Their advantage is
true.
Definitely in goal. They have a big advantage there.
Right.
If for anybody out there who might be watching who might be a Vegas fan, I know we've had a few who've popped in here. Brossois is in net right now. The Knights have had like 5 different goaltenders since Lanier suffered that hip injury.
It's a shame. The guy that replaced him, the rookie Logan Thompson, who started off the year really well, fell to injury as well. He had a really good shot at certainly winning the Calder, if not the Vezina.
Oh, absolutely.
Right.
Logan Thompson he came out huge early. It looks like Kolser had a chance to hit pay dirt there. It looks like hit the outside of the post. I don't know if that was Kolser or not. Whoever's wearing 22 for Vegas.
Yeah. So that weird Rabbit 99 said, at least we didn't get shut out. So
hey,
right.
But you lost and gave up 5 goals.
They didn't get shut out though. Hey,
and at home too. I mean, what the Devils? This is a bad game 1. It couldn't get much worse.
No. If I was a Devil fan now, I'd be awfully upset.
It's funny. As soon as Dylan told me Mark Stone is back in, I saw him on the ice.
Mark Stone is playing.
Mark Stone is playing. Yep, he's back.
Ooh.
Yeah, he actually got cleared, I think, right before the playoffs.
Okay. Gee, I wonder if Tampa. I shouldn't call them Tampa Bay. I wonder if Vegas was pulling a Tampa Bay on them with the salary cap so that they could sneak them in.
So
they wouldn't do that now, would they?
I'm not sure. Good question. I mean, you pull out all the stops when you try to win.
I mean, it's not illegal. It's not like it's an illegal move to do if they did it that way.
No, it's not. I mean, Tampa Bay did it.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And, everybody, the whole league complained about it, but then when they had a chance to actually do something about it with the rules, nobody wanted to change the rules, so.
I was saying about the Tim Kerr thing. He said, no, I meant it was garbage goals in front of the net. So that's what he meant by that. I was like, my bad. My bad on that one, Liliava.
Oh, Stott streak came to an end tonight.
Oh, it did?
Yeah, it ended at 17.
Well, hey, he had a good run. Ted's saying...
Jimmy Rollins still holds that record, though, doesn't he? For the Phillies?
I have no idea, to be honest with you. He might.
I know Stott just broke the record this afternoon for most consecutive games to open a season at 17. But I think Jimmy Rollins owns the franchise record for the longest hitting streak, which I think is I think he got to 42, I want to say.
Well, I know what Jordan Walker from the Cardinals was at 12, and that was pretty up there in terms of league ranks, wasn't it? Was it 12 games?
It was something like that. Because they were saying like this kid's probably never gonna get out, because they were hyping up Walker for a little bit, but I remember J-Roll going pretty long on the hit streak. But hey, I tip my hat to Stott, man. 17 games to open up the season. It's impressive.
That's a pretty good,
especially for a sophomore. Yeah, especially for a sophomore.
So Dylan's saying, what's going on, fellas? What's going on, Dylan? And he said, enjoying some stress-free playoff hockey, early nights with no Flames games on at 10 p.m. It's got to feel pretty good, right?
It's not the best.
I will say, though, I did enjoy that double overtime between Minnesota and Dallas. What a way to kick off a series with that one. And there was that viciousness, too, after the hit on Pavelski. Someone almost beat the piss out of Dumbo on that one, which, I mean, to be fair, I'm not shocked. That's what you should do when something like that happens. But,
yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, hey, everybody came out to play in that one. J-Ro got himself a goal, and Ottinger played a really good game. Gustafsson also played a really good game, and they didn't really highlight it all that much, how good Gustafsson played that night. It's like, wow, really? It's a little unfair. Like, he actually played pretty good. He went pound for pound with Ottinger, so give him a little bit of credit. And that was one of the things we talked about, is like, could Minnesota's goaltending hold up in the playoffs? You know, there were people who were suspecting that.
Oddly enough, I actually have Minnesota upsetting Dallas in that series there.
Interesting.
I think I have it going like 6 games. Yeah. Yeah.
So, I mean, is anybody watching the Leafs right now?
I just flipped it on because the game's at a commercial.
Yeah, it's
no.
Yeah, the Leafs are on a power play right now.
Oh. Oh boy.
Yeah.
They're showing highlights of the 2018 Western Conference Finals. I don't think Jets fans want to see that after what happened that year between them and the Knights.
No, definitely not.
Could you imagine, though, having been a Jets fan, you know, especially if you were like an old guard, like you were there for the original Winnipeg Jets, and this new version of the Jets comes along, you get that far in the playoffs, like the farthest any team with that name is gone. You are that close to the finals, and here comes this brand new expansion team, first year in the league, and they smoke you and go right to the Stanley Cup Finals. That has to be like the biggest punch in the dick. Like,
yeah, I think so. I think you're right about that.
Ooh, good chance there by Vegas.
That was a very good chance. Let's see here. Dylan saying, Knights' problem is goaltending in bottom 6. Jets run with a Rick bonus system. Could upset with that system, as they almost did with Dallas against Calgary last year.
Yeah, they could, but I mean, again, I just think Vegas' defense runs a little bit deeper than Winnipeg's does. I think that's going to be what really gets Vegas through this first round. And I think once they get through the first round, they'll be fine. I think Winnipeg has the speed to beat them. And I think as long as they don't have Quick in net, the Jets will have a shot. But I don't know why Quick isn't starting. I don't know if anybody has any information on that. But I think once Quick gets back between the pipes, I think it's gonna make it a little bit harder for Winnipeg to win this game or win the series.
Maybe he hasn't been playing as well as the guy who's in net tonight.
Ritz, thank you. We will definitely have fun, brother.
Adam Fox, 4 assists tonight, huh, Brad?
Yep.
It's pretty impressive.
He's been a real good playoff player.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's got more points than games played, which anytime you got a guy doing that, that's
Yeah.
that's an outstanding job by him. The Rangers really played. They played really good team defense. I mean, they did. Shesterkin was great, but I mean, they kept it away.
Oh,
Keep building. Just keep building that legacy, Adam. I got your rookie card, baby. Just keep building it.
because one day I'm gonna sell this fucker and make me a ton of money. I don't blame you. I respect the hustle. I really do.
Him and Mason McTavish. I actually got a bunch of really good ones. I'm gonna go see if I
Nice.
find them real quick.
Did you get them from Priz or did you purchase those ones?
No,
and
I got
sell
them myself.
Ah, nice.
Open packs.
Let's see. That weird rabbit saying it would be nice to see Seattle in the finals. That would be crazy. You imagine seeing Seattle in their second year? It's like we saw Vegas in their very first year go to the final. We see Seattle in their second year go to the final. It's like just all you gotta do is be an expansion team, and you're guaranteed a finals berth at this point. No wonder Atlanta's clamoring for a freaking team again.
No, they've had 2 chances already.
Here's the thing, though. They just built a new arena, and they're actually interested in bringing an NHL team back to Atlanta for a third go. Now, will the NHL follow through on that? Well, we'll have to wait and see. I think they're a little bit caught up with Tempe right now, focused on expansion.
Yeah, well, that would be a good place for the if they want to move the Coyotes there, fine. That's as far as I would go.
So move the Coyotes to Atlanta. The Atlanta Coyotes. The Atlanta Coyotes change their colors to what the Thrashers' colors used to be.
There you go.
Whew, that was harder than it needed to be.
Heyo.
They used to wear
That's what
dark
she
blue
said.
uniforms, right?
She hasn't said
Dark
that to me in a
blue with
while.
light blue. Bri, they have something that they can subscribe to you for that.
Oh yeah, here you go, Robbie. You'll like this one.
Who's that?
Alex Newhook.
Oh, Newhook. That's my
Nice.
boy. Yeah.
That's a tough one to look at because that son of a should have been a Flyer. That's a shame.
Correct.
Kirill the Thrill.
Nice.
His rookie
Good old.
card.
I like that one, too.
There's Mace.
Nice. Nice.
And then here's the money one. Adam Fox.
Oh,
There
nice.
you go. Nice.
Young Guns.
Yes, sir.
Whoa. Oh, wow. Bro Suave made a save, but then the puck wound up
how
popping
did that
out,
not-
and there was
how
a
did
big
that not
pile up of the
go
blue
in?
paint.
How
That
did
is
not go
crazy.
in?
Could be worth some money too sometime. This is
Oh, very simple. There were a million guys in front of the net. There was no
It
room.
literally looked like a dog pile in football. They were all trying to jump on the puck.
Bumbo! Fire!
Yeah. But I give Ambro. Amadio. He got in there just in time to stop Appleton from directing that puck into the open net.
Yeah. Number 22 active again in this game. I tell you, it's just, those unknown bottom 6 guys that you're not familiar with league wide, especially like say if you're an Eastern Conference fan and watching Western Conference games, and they just become that playoff hero, man, with that Game 7 goal or that OT goal. That's why I just love this tournament.
Yep.
Email like saying, "Do we lose Carter Hart if we go full rebuild? We shouldn't.
Possible.
No,
I
he's
wouldn't
not old
want it.
enough.
It's
He's not old
possible.
enough for you to trade him.
I mean, I would definitely not want that. He could be here for a rebuild. He's young enough to be here for a rebuild.
I mean, I
Yeah,
wanna
he'll be
agree with you
right
guys,
in the middle
but
of his prime when you get good again. He'll be right in the middle of his prime. Why would you trade him unless he wants out?
Well,
that's one
if
thing.
they don't trade him, what's their next step? Like, where do they go from here specifically?
How much salary cap room do they have at the end this summer?
well, they're gonna free up 7.5 losing JVR.
Who else?
I
They're
mean,
gonna
they could
lose-
trade D'Angelo.
Are they gonna trade
which
Hayes?
would free up some.
From what I understand, they're gonna try to, and he has interest in leaving. I don't think he wants to be a part of a rebuild, but
No, I don't think he would. And he's 29 years old. And he was 29. I don't know how old he is now. Well, I think he was 29 when he was when he left the Rangers, if I'm not mistaken. But I'm not sure now because I can't remember.
Oh, wow.
I think he's 31.
That puck was so close. Holy crap. That puck was so close to crossing the line. It was literally on the line. Holy crap.
Yeah.
That was really close.
Oh man.
Let's see. Meme Metal Mike saying, I'm sorry, I already read that one. My bad. See, this is what happens. The playoffs distract you. Also, I really don't want to talk about losing Carter Hart. Please, God, no. We finally get a franchise goalie, and what do? We have to get rid of him or we lose him? It's like, of course. That figures. Isn't that just how it works? The damn paradox of Philadelphia. Let's see here.
I don't think that he's going anywhere.
Ted saying both goalies were playing out of their minds. The Kings and Edmonton game too. Yes, you are correct. Corpy, he got himself under control after letting in that third goal, and he just locked it down after that. He made some great saves in overtime. Skinner, well, he had a rough third period, but then again, so did the Oilers. So that's what happens.
Wait, they didn't even start Jack Campbell?
No, it was Skinner.
Wow.
Why wouldn't they play Campbell?
I guess because they felt like going with the hot hand since Skinner was setting a record. I guess that would be my theory behind it.
Not a bad way to go to start a series is start the hot goalie before you put the starter back in. But
so
it's not
do
a
you
bad
think
idea.
the Devils are going to go to Blackwood next game?
They might.
I don't even think Blackwood was dressed.
Oh, really?
Well, who's their backup goalie now?
Whoever wears number 40.
Oh, okay. Oh, I know who that is.
I
don't remember his name, but I know who he is. He's pretty good, but they're not putting him in the goal.
Let me see.
He's not going in unless it's 3-0.
Did they resurrect Keith Kincaid?
So here's the deal, boys, right? After JVR's contract falls off a couple things, right? That's going to get the salary cap max down to 83.5 mil, right? But their cap floor is 61.79 based on in terms of, what you can shed also, through trade, through buyouts, so on and so forth, through, maybe placement on long-term IR, that applies towards Ryan Ellis. So there's a lot more wiggle room now than there has been in a while.
Well, they can go out and they could try to bring in a couple of stars while they're developing these kids, and then when the kids are ready, they'll be in the playoffs. And they'll have
I say lock some of the guys that you're hyped on here and continue to build. Don't add pieces at this point.
No, I agree.
Right, because you still have Owen Tippett that you'll have to re-sign because he's on his entry-level contract. I believe Allison, is he on his entry-level contract?
I think he's on the final year. I think he's at RFA.
That's what I thought. Yeah, so you got some guys you got to really look at and get them under lock and key before you think about anything else.
Right. Sign some college players. You had Cutter commit, right? He stayed in college. You know what I mean? Ultimately, one, he pans out. You're going to have to ink him to an entry level deal, and so on and so forth. Yeah,
but that's $700,000 a year, isn't it?
Yeah, of course, but I mean it adds up.
Yeah,
it can. Absolutely, it can. So real quick, obviously, going through this, Kiefer Bellows is an RFA. He probably won't be back. Brendan Lemieux is a UFA. He probably won't be back. Noah Cates is an RFA. Morgan Frost is an RFA. Wade Allison actually has one more year left. He's actually not on the ELC. So he's on a second deal. Noah Cates, however, is on the ELC.
Oh, that's who. Oh, okay. It was Noah Cates who I was thinking of.
Owen Tippett, you still have one more year with him before he's an RFA, so you don't have to worry about him for another year.
All right.
Cam York, you got to re-sign. He's an RFA.
Oh, my God. Yeah, that's huge.
That's why you trade Tony DeAngelo to be able to pay Cam York.
Yep, and then you're losing Justin Braun at the end of the year, but that only frees up $1 million, so that's not it's not crazy.
Right. Yeah, this is the problem when you have big contracts that you have, and Yeah, there is. Yeah. Ooh.
I mean, there's not a ton of big contracts on here. Like you got two right now, and that's Kevin Hayes at 7.1, and that's Ivan Provorov at 6.75. Everybody else is like 5.5 and lower, and I'm not counting Couturier because his, as of right now, his cap hit doesn't affect because he's still on the LTIR.
Gotcha. Is Atkinson's on the LTIR as well?
Well, I'm sorry, they're both on they're both on IR.
Okay.
But I don't think Cam Atkinson loses a year because he was on the IR most of the year.
Okay.
I don't know how that works.
Isn't the cap going up this year? I thought the cap was going up $3 million this year, or is that next year?
It should be this year.
This year, yeah.
Yeah, well, that's going to help. That's going to help everybody.
Hell yeah.
It definitely will.
Yeah, it's not official yet, though.
No, they got to wait until the season's over and everything before they get that underway.
Yeah, I'm thinking if the cap goes up $3 million, maybe the Rangers could be able to figure out a way to keep Tarasenko, because I really like to see him stay if at all possible. Kane can go on his white horse and go wherever he wants to go. I'm not interested in keeping him, but Tarasenko looks like he's still got a lot of gas in the tank. He's still real good.
Yeah, he spent a lot of time injured, so he better have some gas left in the tank.
Save there from Hellebuck. So far, 9-6. Shots favor Winnipeg.
By the way, before I forget, Akira Schmid is the backup for the Devils right now.
Schmid, yeah, okay.
Schmid, okay. Interesting. And Mario, man, he's all over the place, taking shots and stuff. Your boy out there, Rob.
Mario is a good.
Oh no, Brian noticed him first.
Oh, so it's Brian's boy. Oh, okay, gotcha.
I don't want to say he's my boy.
No Golden Knight is Brian's boy. Let's just get that for starting.
What's worse is Michael Amadio was a king beforehand, so he's really not my boy.
He's double dead to you.
Uh-oh.
He's a good role player. I will give him his due credit. He's a very good role player, but he's not my boy. You give him Matt Dess if he wins a cup.
Let's see here. Joe's saying, wow, I fell asleep last night. I just saw that Edmonton blew that game last night. Yes, they did. Shaking my head. That team just cannot get out of their own way. 3 guys with 100 points. Well, I mean, that's Edmonton for you. They love to trip over their own dick. They just love it.
It's amazing with them.
Sometimes it gets in the way.
Right.
I
mean, it's 100 points, so it's pretty big. You know, it's easy to trip over.
Especially when you get older.
BD, man, that big dick energy.
Okay, Edmonton is another one that just finds ways to lose.
Yeah.
Big opportunity here for Winnipeg, taking in my opinion, the best defenseman off the ice there for 2 minutes.
Yeah,
Shea Theodore taking a
Shea Theodore, yep.
Yep.
Why didn't the Ducks hold on to him?
Maybe they could trade for him again. Maybe the Golden Knights will give him up. Maybe they'll just lose all complete sense of, hockey and give him back.
Yeah, as much as I want to back, I don't know if I want to pay the price tag on him.
Oh, okay. Let's see, Joe's saying, plus the 2 best players in hockey, they're like the Anaheim Angels of hockey.
Yeah, talking about Edmonton, absolutely.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but at least Edmonton makes the playoffs, though.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's a good point right there, isn't it?
That's a great point.
Yeah.
I ain't seen the Angels in the...
Oh,
the Angels don't even have.
Shoot. Oh, wow, it was in the blue paint, and they shot it away. Wow, that was close. Winnipeg almost got the first goal of the series.
Hey, I'm finally ahead of you bastards.
Oh, there you go.
Hey, yeah, that's right.
Finally ahead. It took a while.
Suck it, nerds.
Let's see.
I'm hoping for you, Mark. I'm hoping for Kyle Connor to have a huge series. So,
that would be huge for Winnipeg. Let's see. Ted's saying, "Gotta ask your opinion on something." Vegas media, radio hosts, etc., were saying a statue of Fleury outside the Knights building. My argument is, why he didn't win it all? So no. Well, I mean, if
First
you have,
goaltender in their history, so maybe.
maybe, yeah. I mean, Vegas is still pretty young, so. But then again, I mean, Flyers do have a statue of, I believe it was Gary Dornhofer scoring that goal to win the Flyers' first playoff series against Minnesota. So I mean, it's I would say it would. I really, if that's what they want to do, all right.
Who blocked that? He's not okay. Who is that? Who's 21? He is not okay.
Yeah, he's hurt. Is that McNabb?
No.
Connor. Oh,
Is that Holden? Is that Nick Holden?
Yeah, I think it might be.
Nick Holden is still playing,
and he's hunched over in pain.
He's
that
hurt.
Shot rocked him.
Yeah, it looked like it rocked him in the hand. And Winnipeg's back on the power play.
That is a
5-on-3.
slash. Oh, boy. Well, just as quickly as they got out of the box, they're right back in. Vegas is off to a rip and roaring start here.
Nick Holden may still be playing, but he ain't playing now.
That
was a shot. That's all that.
Yeah. And White Cloud got called for the slash, it looks like.
Oh, absolutely. He just completely destroyed the stick.
Yes, he did. All right. Yes, he did. He just thought he was wielding an axe there for a second.
Part of me wishes Anaheim traded Cam Fowler and kept Shea Theodore. I hate to say it.
It's been a long time now.
Well, do you think that would have changed your fortunes? Do you think you guys would have won one of those Western Conference Finals and gone to the Stanley Cup Finals?
Possibly. You never. I mean, hindsight is always 20/20. So possibly.
Hey guys, what happened to Robert Bortuzzo? Is he hurt?
Did
he retire?
He might be.
I actually don't know.
I thought he was. Vegas signed him. I know he was injured. Did he never come back?
I'm gonna tell you in 1 second here.
Well, while you look that up, Lil Yava says, so if your life depended on it, which team do you have the most trust in to save you? The Cowboys, Leafs, or Mutts? I'm assuming he means the Mets when he says that.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. That's a name that they're called quite a bit.
I mean, I guess. Well, between the three of them, what's the team with the most championships? It's the Leafs, but the problem is the Leafs haven't won shit since 1967.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
And then on the same issue, I know the Cowboys used to have the most Super Bowls until the Steelers decided to say, yeah, I think we're done with that.
Patriots too.
Yeah, Patriots too, yeah.
Yeah, it's been a long time. It's been a long time between drinks for them, for the Cowboys.
Bortuzzo's in St. Louis.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Did he get traded back?
He never left.
Well, who was the guy from St. Louis that Vegas
Pietrangelo.
signed? Pietrangelo. Okay, yeah, that's the one.
Pietrangelo.
What happened to him?
He's still there.
Yeah, he's still in the
back
Vegas
in number
jersey.
7.
Oh, he's playing
right in front of the net right now.
Okay, all right. Yeah, I don't have the sound on.
Trying to make sure that the Jets don't score on this power play.
Got it. Okay.
That Vegas decided to gift to Winnipeg right after they killed off one. They felt bad about Winnipeg not scoring there that they decided to give them another power play.
Yeah, right.
See Tommy in the chat. Tommy, we got nothing here between Vegas and Winnipeg.
I was trying to answer you back, but YouTube just decided to take a shit on me. What the?
Yeah,
that's nice. Thank you, YouTube. We appreciate that.
I mean, whatever you're into, but that's ew.
Listen, no scat around here.
Oh God.
Brad's like, what did I get myself into coming on this show?
No.
Okay,
you know I love you
Scheisse.
guys.
Either way, it's
Back
Mark
online.
Hoover's saying.
All right.
Hey,
Mark Hoover's saying you're dead if you're counting on those teams.
Yeah, good point.
Tedson, you're not going to make it. They all choke ladders. Said bye to your friends and family. Email Mike saying, who was on the 06 Flyers? Peter Forsberg was the captain.
No.
And Gagne, I don't think.
Flockhart
I
still
don't
on the
think.
team?
What's up?
Was Flockhart still on that team?
Might have been. He might have been. Goalie was Niedemaki. Forget who his backup was. Because I don't think it was Esch. I'm trying to. Maybe it was Esch.
I think Ash was. I was almost going to say Ash before, but I think he was gone by that time.
Okay.
No, it was Niedemaki, Ash. We had Marty Biron for a little bit.
Oh, yeah,
That's right. We did trade for Viron from Buffalo. That's right.
Right.
Yeah, we had him for a while too.
I was
He
like
made
Marty.
the round. He made the
Dudes,
rounds after.
That's
after
who I want to
Buffalo
think
got
of.
rid
Mike
him.
Knuble.
Knuble, yep.
Knuble.
Knuble was on that team. I don't think Carter's and Richards were up yet. I think they were still down in the Phantoms at that time.
Do they have Primo yet?
Primo, I think, retired by that point because I think he'd
Yeah.
had so many concussions. It was
okay.
it was getting scary.
Yeah, Richards and Carter came up in 07, 08, right? I think.
Yes, I believe that was when they shot up, and then I think Richards was given the captaincy the following year.
Right.
Yeah, Mark's right. Scotty Upshaw. I have his
Scotty
jersey
Upshaw.
still.
Yep. Scotty Upshaw.
Yoni Pickett.
Ooh.
That flag that I've hung up on occasion on the show, right, was from the Flyers Carnival that year because I had season tickets for a little while, and I got Scotty Upshaw's signature on that.
Nice.
Yoni Pickett, who everybody signed outside of the Flyers logo, he decided to sign inside the Flyers logo like a jabroni. I'm like, come on, man, you're killing me. You're killing me, Smalls. You're killing me.
Was Hatcher was on the team at that point too, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Darian Hatcher, yes. Yeah. Rathje was on the team too.
Mike Rathje. Oh my God. He really fell apart
I don't think
when he left San Jose.
He did. Unfortunately, he joined the Flyers, and that was pretty much it. No, Mason was not on the team at that time. Actually, I don't even think Mason was playing at that point.
Yeah, not yet. A little early. Bobby
Jason,
S, though. Yeah.
Was Jason Smith, was he on the team, or was he on the team next year? Because he was captain in the 07 season. He was kind of like the placeholder. Or was it 08? He was a placeholder one of the years.
I can't remember. It might have been 07.
Yeah.
Because he was only with the Flyers for 1 year, and then he up and left.
Right. I think he went to Edmonton right after that.
And then he pretty much called his career, called it a career shortly after that, which at that point I don't blame him. Edmonton was trash at that point.
Yeah.
Good one, man.
They were
RJ Umberger. That's a good one.
Umberger, yeah.
The Umbergler.
Good job, Dylan.
Was that the year that he died? 06? That was the year he died, the year that Buffalo murdered him.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, yeah, actually, that was. Because that was a first round. Yep. That was another one of those years that cemented my hatred for the Sabres because we met them in the first round and they smoked us.
I have never, ever seen anybody's soul leave a body that quickly, like that hit on RJ Umberger. Like, he hit the ground and he was just looking up. He was looking at his soul leaving his body. He's like, no, come back.
Yeah, it was bad. Like, that was scary. His eyes were glazed over. It was like, yeah, that man's dead. He's fucking dead.
What's that bright light?
Yeah.
Oh, that's just the lights. Okay.
Is that the arena lights? What's going on here?
It's Sammy Kapanen is very close too, though.
Yes.
Yeah.
And thank God Primo was able to goat him to the bench. Good God. Literally, Primo reached out with his stick just to get him to shoo him to the freaking bench. Like, good God.
Gosh, that hit was just absolutely brutal.
Right.
I'm pretty sure he's still concussed after that.
Yeah. And then it was like Toronto was down at the other end just taking pot shots at Czechmanek the entire time. So it looked like Toronto was going to win. And then one bad move from them, turnover. Roenick took it the other way and scored on the first shot. That was fucking hilarious, actually. See, this is what Toronto, they did it. They were fucking up back then, too.
Oh, they've been doing that for a long time.
An opportunity gifted to Toronto to beat the Flyers, and they couldn't do it.
All right, we're scoreless after
Lanny
one.
McDonald to the Flames, and then the Flames winning the Stanley Cup.
Right.
Scoreless after one here.
Yep.
Let's flip over to game number 4.
Winnipeg had their opportunities, and they did not cash in.
They did not.
No, but it was a pretty rough period, though, for Vegas, I would say. A couple of bad penalties and giving up a lot of good opportunities to the Jets there.
Yeah, I thought it was a pretty one-sided period there. I thought Winnipeg, despite having the 2 power plays, I thought they pretty much controlled the puck for the most part.
Yeah, I would agree.
Not a good start to the series here for Vegas. Mark, appreciate you as always, brother.
Hey, man, take it easy, brother.
And Joseph Sarkowski, good job, Joe.
Yeah, he's throwing Markov in, then he threw
Darcy Tucker.
Fuck Darcy Tucker. Yeah.
I actually used to have a Darcy Tucker shirt.
He was a punk. He was a punk.
I used to have a Darcy Tucker t-shirt. I had it when he was playing for Colorado.
Wait, Smith wasn't. No, he wasn't captain in the 09-10 season. That was Richards. It might have been the year before that, in 08-09. I think that might have been the year he was captain.
Or maybe he was saying he was a captain before that particular season. So maybe 08-09.
Oh, I'm sorry, Ted. I misread that. Yeah, my bad. You're right. He was before. Briere was still with the Flyers in that year. And really, Patrick Sharp was still on the team? I thought we had traded him by then.
No, I think it was just before the 2010 season is when they traded Patrick Sharp to Chicago.
Oh, okay. Huh, isn't that ironic? And Michael Handzus. Yeah, Handzus was still on the team at the time, too.
Handzus, I remember him. He used to kill the Rangers.
Oh, wait a minute. Wasn't
Yeah, he was a Ranger killer. That
damn
guy.
it! I had it in my head. Baumgartner. Wasn't Baumgartner on the team?
Nolan Baumgartner?
Yeah.
Maybe.
The guy that used to play for the Leafs?
Yeah, I thought Nolan Baumgartner played for the Flyers at one point.
I don't think he did.
He didn't?
I could be wrong. I don't think Nolan Baumgartner did.
I thought he did.
Flyers had Ryan Perrant for a while, but Ryan Perrant never panned out into anything that they thought he'd be. They expected him to be a top pairing guy. He just never panned out anywhere he went.
Yeah, that's true. Dennis Hamill before Phaneuf murdered him.
Young Dion Phaneuf was a serial killer. I swear to God. Young Dion Phaneuf did nothing but murder people.
He did, man.
He ended Michael Sauer's career with the Rangers.
He ended a few careers, I'm sure.
Yeah, he was.
I forget what I was watching. I think I was watching NHL Tonight or something like that. And they were doing like a little segment on Dion Phaneuf. And they're like, young Dion Phaneuf. Just absolutely, highlights of him just absolutely murdering people. Oh, man. It was brutal. Pretty sure I got concussed just from watching.
Let's see here. Lilyava. Delmore. Andy Delmore. There's a name you haven't heard in a while. Good God. Right. Oh, man. Let's see here. It's right up there with like John Sim.
Oh.
Bookaboom. That's still my favorite hockey name. I wish he had played for the Flyers.
Oh, Jeff Bookaboom?
Yeah, I love that name. Such a great name.
Oh, Seattle's up 1-0.
You know, he actually
Wow.
he actually had to retire because of a concussion.
Really?
Yep.
Who gave him the concussion?
Oh boy. You know, I can't even remember now. But he got so I can't remember who smoked. Somebody smoked him. Maybe Momesso. I thought it was somebody on Vancouver. Got him like 2 years later.
Was it?
And he ended up having to retire from it.
So congratulations to Tolvanen getting the first ever playoff goal in Seattle Kraken history.
It's like what we've been saying all season long about this team. They work hard. That was a great turnover by Tolvanen, and then he never gave up on the play. So great for him. I think he's been really good for Seattle since claiming him off of waivers, which I was really, really wanted Anaheim to claim him.
Right. It's been it's been a great gritty year for Seattle. They put together a subtle, really good team right there. And it, like you said, Briere, you know, they may not have the flashiest names in the world, but by God, do they get those W's. They grind them the fuck out.
Don was in here, Tommy. I don't know where he is anymore.
That is true.
We lost him.
Since Detroit's not here, it's gonna. I don't know if we'll be seeing him too much. I think it hurts too much. He was hoping the Red Wings would be here this year.
Well, it was close.
It was until the Red Wings shot themselves in the foot.
Yeah. they had the Buffalo syndrome. Every time they got close, they would lose.
Yeah. At times like he's now up front. Oh man!
He was in our chat. We were talking, making our brackets in our Twitter chat earlier, and I know Don was going to be joining us this evening, and maybe he was here, maybe he's gone.
Maybe. Either way, maybe because we're shit talking him, maybe Don will show up. That's usually when he responds. So.
Sure, I saw Ted's comment earlier about us being the best show on HUD. So you know what? We got Ted. We're good.
Ted,
even though me and him don't really get along, but it's fine.
Hey, listen, Ted, you're the man, brother. Thank you.
But there is respect.
No, Tommy, it locks at the first game too. You can still jump in. I think it's still like let me see here, like 20-something hours left. Yeah, 20 hours and 31 minutes left. You're good, brother.
Yeah, get those picks in.
Yeah, absolutely, Tommy. Jump in. Anybody
Matthew.
else in the chat?
You too, Matthew.
Jump in.
I did put my pick. I put my picks in. What, they didn't count?
You the man. I wasn't sure. I didn't see it. All right, that's my bad. I'm gonna put myself on timeout.
I put mine in. But to be fair, when I was trying to put them in, I kept trying to put Matt, but it kept saying the name already exists. I'm like, okay, so I'll come up with something silly to freaking get it to fucking go. Since NHL wants to be annoying right now, I don't know. Maybe that's a sign.
Not the greatest interface. Okay, I'm back on.
All right, so
no, you're right.
I see we got 15 people. Like, this is great.
It is.
I want to see who else we got. Well, I mean, obviously we got, Big at 69. Like, who's that? Wichita Flyers. I'm assuming it's Joe.
What's
McTavish? I don't know who that is.
I would be Mika 93.
I kind of figured that one.
Yeah.
And then we got Priz. I don't know who the incinerator is. Ant's picks, I'm assuming, is Antomio.
Nice Ant.
Tom was like, I'm back, baby.
I'm back, baby.
That's what I want to know, Tommy. I think we have 15, but I'm not counting 15 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm counting 9, 10.
So me, Metal Mike saying Florida had that run to the Cup the year of the Rats. Yes, John Van Beesbrook. Unfortunately for Flyers fans, we should remember that one because that was a painful year for the Flyers. Get the number 1 overall seed and fucking choke to Florida. That's pleasant. Thank you very much, guys.
Did it bother you guys at all that it was an ex-Ranger who beat you? Beezer.
What's even more ironic is that he became a Flyer shortly thereafter. So,
Yes, he did. Well, the Rangers traded him for Doug Lister, believe it or not. And Doug Lister played a huge part in them winning the Cup in '94 because Alexander Karpovtsev, his mom died, and he was completely beside himself, and he couldn't play in the finals. He was just
that's a shame.
mentally gone. So Doug Lister, who was one of the Black Aces, came out and played for that whole series with Jay Wells, and he was tremendous. But they traded Van Beesbrook for him, and I guess it was worth it. they had a pick between Van Beesbrook and Richter was younger, so that's basically why they did that.
Right. Lee, I was saying, was at the Calder Cup clinching game sellout. David Bell also hit for the cycle that same night. Huh. I did not know that was the same night David Bell hit the cycle. I know that's the last time that's ever happened on the Phillies history. But
about that.
But how well, man, that's cool. You were there the night that they clinched in the Spectrum. That's pretty cool.
I forgot David Bell hit for the cycle. I think he was the last Philly to ever do it too.
Do you know who the last Yankee was to hit for the cycle?
Not a clue.
And I'll give you a little clue. He was the shortstop before Jeter.
Wow.
Shit, who was the shortstop before Jeter? I know I'm going to shoot myself in the foot on this one.
Former Blue Jay and former Met. Was really a piece
so
of
Rob,
shit
you should know this one, brother.
He's a
Robbie
real piece of
Alomar?
shit. He was a real piece of shit when he was with the Mets, though. I mean, a super big piece of shit. Somebody you guys literally booed out of the stadium. He was like the second edition of Jorge Julio when you got him.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm blanking on this. Because I'm pretty sure I probably have his baseball card too.
I'm sure
Roger
you do.
Cedeno?
No, but he's Spanish. I'll give you that.
He's Spanish.
He was Spanish.
That's
Damn, I'm stumped.
I don't know if that's a very descriptive narrowing down there when you say in baseball.
Well, he was
Spanish.
Dominican. Well, he's from the Dominican.
I'm just saying.
Played for the Blue Jays. He was an all-star. Nobody could get him out when he was with the Blue Jays.
I'm gonna say Tony Fernandez because
there
it
you
looks
go.
like
You got it. That's
LJ.
LJ
threw it in there, and then so did Mean Metal Mike. So that's the only reason why I went with it.
Tony Fernandez. Good job.
So credit to LJ and Mean Metal Mike on that one.
Yep. Good job, guys.
Joe said David.
I know you guys aren't really Yankee fans, so I wanted to give you guys a few clues to try to help you out.
Oh,
I forgot Tony Fernandez was even a Met, to be honest with you.
Oh yeah.
The
Met fans didn't particularly like Tony Fernandez at all. They liked him about as much as they liked Robbie Alomar.
Yeah.
I just realized
Robbie Alomar, but I'm like, wait, Robbie Alomar didn't play for the Mets or the Yankees.
No, he played for the Mets.
He played for the Mets.
Robbie Alomar did.
I have something to say though about that. Ted,
he was a dog he was a dog when he was on the Mets.
Yeah.
Ted's onto something here, though. I know Mike Piazza had some dealerships and what have you. He should have gotten into the pizza business. Literally, his fucking name. Come on, he really should have.
Well, he lives in Italy full time now, so I'm sure he has some sort of pizzeria.
Yeah, he might.
At least he gets to live in Italy.
He had a huge pizza. What am I saying? He had a big dealership in Pennsylvania, didn't he?
He did, because he was originally from Pennsylvania.
Yeah, he was from Philly, I think, or the Philadelphia metropolitan area.
I think so.
No, it was out. It was, I think, Western, out towards Allentown, I think.
Oh, was?
I think.
I thought he was.
Rob, I think you're right.
Okay. All right.
Welcome back, Swoopy. Well, Seattle just got their first.
Yeah, Swoopy got that. He just beat you to it.
Yep.
Speaking of that, you just missed Seattle getting their first ever playoff goal from Eeli Tolvanen. And it's actually Eeli Tolvanen's second ever career playoff goal, not his first. So that would have been very interesting if it had been his first ever playoff goal, happens to be the first ever playoff goal for Seattle. Would have been interesting if that had been the case.
Yeah, he had one with Nashville.
Right. That's right. And let's see.
Colorado's they're hogging the puck right now.
Yeah, they're trying to they gotta try and wake it up now because I think Seattle's really taking it to them.
Yeah, Brad just had to jump off. I guess he has to be up early tomorrow.
Oh, okay then.
Yeah.
All right then. Well, hopefully we'll have Brad. Of course, he'll be back next week. As we have more playoffs.
Oh.
Ooh. Well, that was an
like
unexpected side effect there.
King of Prussia, yes.
A really surprising side effect. All right.
I just zoomed in on my face. I'm like, no. Further away the better.
Thank goodness I had another screen up because I would have made myself faint. Happy holidays, everyone, by the way. Sorry. Just want to throw that in there.
Yeah. Merry Christmas, everybody.
Wait, what? Which holiday? I'm actually not sure. Is it for Easter? Easter came and went, right?
Oh yeah, happy Easter too.
Yeah. But either way, yeah, happy belated Easter to everybody out there.
Just
and happy Stanley Cup playoffs. I'll go with that one. And
that's what I'm talking about. It's the Stanley Cup playoffs. It's the greatest time of the year. It's holiday time. Let's go.
Yeah. Happy Thanksgiving. Wait, what?
You are absolutely right, Rob. And I'm going to throw myself into the box for that one. I get a 5-minute major for that. That's uncalled for. That was fucking reprehensible.
That's right. Get out.
Go halfway to Halloween for those that celebrate it.
And I'm also going to penalize you, Brian, because you didn't get it. Yeah, you didn't get it either. But I'll be nice enough, and I'll give you a 2-minute minor. You get to come out before I do.
I'm just being myself, so you can get out. Bye.
Let's see. A little bit. We were going through names of guys who played on the 06 team, the team right before the disaster season. So
yeah, we talked about would a potential Carter Hart trade be a part of this rebuild that Danny Briere is speaking of? You know, what does that entail? You know, and certainly, you know, I don't know if you guys wanted to kind of, you know, extrapolate on that point in terms of where the Flyers go from here.
That's a good idea. Before we dive into that, let me jump into our first and second period sponsors here. So our first period sponsor for everyone out there is, if you're looking to buy or sell a home, if you have a change of career brokerage, you can contact Alan Foy, eXp Realty, and you can give him a call at 302. And, of course, it disappeared on me. Thank you. All right, there we go. 302-682-8820. Or visit him at alan.foy@exprealty.com. Big move in life when you're either selling your home or you're moving into your next one, or you do have a change of career. That's another big move in life. So, want to do it right. Go to Alan Foy. Make sure it's taken care of. And for our second period, All Campus OC, if you're ever in New Jersey or if you're close by and you want to head on down to the shore, head on down to Ocean City, take a look at All Campus, take down at the shop there at the boardwalk, say hi to John, runs the whole thing there. He also runs the ramp booth. And All Campus is giving 20% off of everything in the store, including hats, shirts, to all of the A2D subscribers. So get subscribed up, say hi to John, check out the ramp booth, and check out the shop and wear your team colors with pride. All right, gents, on to the second period we go. And yeah, we might as well dive into this. And, well, Carter Hart and him, I honestly, Lil Yaba's on the please trade Hart bandwagon on that one. And meanwhile, Mike saying Travis Konechny being a captain through a rebuild. Well, he made a strong case for himself.
Yeah.
I will say, honestly, I'm going to say that I'm not a I don't know. I don't like the concept of trading Hart. And the reason I say that is because it's not 100% sold on Sandstrom or Ursa. because I still haven't seen enough of them, and I'm not 100%. I don't think carry the load. A personal feeling. I'm not saying they can't. I just, if I see a little bit more, maybe I'll be convinced. I'm not right now, and I feel like you trade Carter Hart away. Okay, what do you do now? Where are you at goal? Like, you got to hope that
Right.
Erson or Sandstrom turns into a fiend. And and if not, you have egg on your face for trading Carter Hart away, and you look like a jackass for doing it, because it's like, well, you had your franchise goaltender and you traded him away. And then you're back in the same spot you were when the Flyers were competing for a cup not too long ago, if you go back a few decades, where you didn't have a goaltender. I don't want to see us go back to that route where it's like, great,
Right.
what Monday morning quarterback are we throwing into the net this year to see if we can win a cup? I just have a horrible feeling if you trade Hart away, that's exactly where you put yourself, right back into that spot.
Right. And plus, on top of that, so the ideal thing, all right, if he's your biggest asset right now, and you're trying to build picks for this loaded draft, right? You're going to trade away a potential franchise goaltender, right? That's still young, young and can stick with this rebuild, right? For a draft where it's very deep, but in forwards, also a few quality defensemen. It's not a bad goalie draft, but it's not great either. So who are you drafting to be your next franchise goaltender? That's my question.
Tie game.
Yep, just saw it.
Well, the problem is, here's my thing is, the thing you got to ask yourself is, one, Robbie says, he asked a good question. You trade Hart, who's going in net next? Felix Sandstrom, who had, 2 wins all season long?
Right.
Erson, who really only played against the bad teams in the end through his little stretch.
And when he faced a good team, he got wrecked.
He got struggled. Exactly.
Right.
Here's my thing. I don't think the Flyers are as bad as people think they are. I don't necessarily think they need to do a full rebuild. I don't. You're seeing some really good things from some young players. Owen Tippett stepping up this year, taking a huge step forward. Morgan Frost fallen, I think, just 1 goal shy of 20 this year. He's really stepped up. You have Noah Cates, who's really showed that he could be, a middle 6 player. Plus, you have Couturier on the IR. You have Cam Atkinson on IR. This team's going to be a bit healthier next year and a little bit more back to being 100% healthy. Obviously, Ellis is a huge question mark whether or not he's ever going to play again. But you got to build up the defense in front of Carter Hart. Carter Hart still had a pretty good year this year. I mean, he's only 24 years old. He's not really going to hit his stride until next year or maybe even the year after. So with me, it's putting pieces in place now. I think they're about maybe 2 years out from being a playoff team again. I think they could potentially be a playoff team next year if they can stay healthy and they make the right moves and draft the right players. Cutter Gauthier is not going to sign his contract until after next season anyway. So you don't have to worry about him for another year, which I think is a mistake. But if he feels like he still needs a little bit of developing to do, that's not going to hurt him. But the question here is, who, if you trade Carter Hart, who do you replace him with?
Right. Both short-term and long-term in terms from the draft, right? Let me point this out to you, Brian, right? So if I tell you your starting goaltender for Anaheim has a 294 goals against and a 907 save percentage, would you take that?
Absolutely would. All day, every day.
Right.
Because
you'd like to see that save percentage in the 920s to 930s, but I like a sub 3 goals against average. Well, that was Carter Hart's stats this year. And over his career, where he's played maybe not his greatest hockey as he is maturing at the highest level, 296 and a 906. So right there. I mean, now are those franchise goaltending numbers? No, they are not. So to Lova's point, you're right there. He's still got a lot to prove, and I will agree with that. But I think he has a lot of time to show that, being only 24 years old.
Absolutely. And you also got to think about how many shots he faced all season long. So that's why the save percentage doesn't look as sexy, because he did face a ton of shots all season long.
Sure.
That plays a huge part of it. And, I've been preaching since I came onto the show 8 years ago. Your goalie is only as good as the defense in front of you. And we saw it last year with the Stanley Cup champs. Darcy Kemper is not a franchise goaltender, but he won a Stanley Cup because his defense in front is so good.
Right.
It could be the same situation with the Flyers. If they can put better defensemen in front of him, and I think they have a couple really good ones, if they can find a better, obviously got to replace Braun. York has to get signed. Tony DeAngelo he could be a liability. Provy could possibly be gone this year. I mean, there's still some question marks on the defensive side, but I thought I didn't see anything from Carter Hart this year that I didn't really hate. I mean, he let up a soft one here and there, but I think right now you got to focus on getting Kevin Hayes off the books, which I hate to say because I thought he had a pretty good year this year. Got to figure out what you're doing with Provorov. And then from there, you just got to fill in some pieces. You got to see who's like, I think Tyson Forrester's ready. You got to find a spot for him.
He looked very good playing for the Flyers.
Such a heavy shot, too.
Mm-hmm. But, LJ, it absolutely does matter who the goaltender is now because you want your goaltender to grow with the team. You don't want necessarily just to throw the goaltender in there. I mean, look, the Flyers tried doing that for so many years in the past, and look at where it got them. They tried throwing in Marty Biron. They tried throwing in John Van Beesbrook. They tried throwing in Brian Boucher multiple times. You want a goalie to grow with your team.
They're quick. When the Flyers were going on their runs in the early 2010s, their big solution to the problem in 2010 was to get Ray Emery. And Ray Emery suffered a hip injury. And do you know what happened to the Flyers? They were far past fucked in goal after that. Because that was the guy you were hinging your bets on was going to lead you to the promised land. Then you had to go back to Boucher, who was past his prime at that point. Love Boucher, but it was past his prime at that point. And then on top of that, then you had Michael Leighton because Boucher got hurt. And Leighton, for some weird strain, must have had a horseshoe up his fucking ass because he had an amazing fucking year that year. I mean, I don't know what happened. Either way, the Flyers managed to make a magic run out of that whole thing. Either way, though, is that really what you want to hinge your bets on? Absolutely not. You don't want to go back to that. I don't. I absolutely don't want to go back to the days where, hey, let's go grab that Czechmanic guy. Oh, this Boucher kid looks pretty good. He's young. He's up and coming. Fuck him. Send his ass off to Arizona. We're going to back Czechmanic. After 3 years, he's gone, and he totally melts down in L.A. and is out of the league. And then, on top of that, let's try and throw Eshin in that. Let's see what he can do. Oh, he sucks after 2 years? Kick his ass out. We got Niedermaki. Niedermaki can't do shit, too? Oh, great. What are we going to do now? You see where I'm going with this.
Well, it was a revolving door. Maddie. It's not even just it being a revolving door. It's you want your goaltender to really hit his prime when the team is ready to compete. And I really don't think this team is far off from being a competitive team. That's kind of where I'm going with it. Because everything you brought up is accurate. It's been nothing but a revolving door for at least the last 20 years.
Right.
At least what it seems like. And it's just been Band-Aid after Band-Aid after Band-Aid after Band-Aid after Band-Aid. And now you finally have somebody who can be a franchise goalie, who could potentially bring a cup back to Philly.
Right.
You got to give him a shot to grow with the team.
Right.
You can't just throw a goaltender in there and expect him to be good. Just like the forwards, they have to grow with the team.
You're right. And you know what? Since we were talking about this, you know what, guys? We say this every year. When the playoffs are done, we're going to put a thumbtack in this now. We will go over the Flyers goaltending carousel. We will go by goalie, by goalie, by goalie. And we're going to take a look at the futility. We're going to get deep into that motherfucker. You want to know why? Because that way, maybe we'll finally understand, like, this is why you keep Hart. This is why you keep him around. This is why you need him. As badly as this team has performed, it's not his fault. It is not his fault. It is everything to do with horrible team structure and terrible management. That's what's ultimately killed this team at the end of the day. So, and a revolving door of GMs and coaches didn't help nothing either.
Right.
Just
And Maddie,
go ahead, Robbie.
But don't forget where this all started too, right? Hexie was great for this team back in the 80s, and then they decided to bring him back in the 90s, and a lot of people point towards that being the weak link against the Red Wings.
Oh, I agree. I think he did. I love Hexie, and he was probably the better of the two goalies, comparing him to Garth Snow. But at the end of the day, it's like you go and bring Hexie back. It's like, well, why didn't you go get somebody else? You have all the money in the world. There's not a single price point that Ed Snyder would not have spent. Why don't you go get Cujo? Why don't you go get Potvin? Why don't you go get somebody else? Go get anybody else. Anybody who's a proven goaltender in the playoffs. Yes, Hexie's a proven goaltender. But you traded him away for a reason. You traded him away for a reason because you wanted Lindros and it was time to move on. Stay that way.
Right. One last point I'll make real quick, boys, in terms of, the Flyers and what they should do and who they should keep and who they should get rid of. Well, they're automatically getting 2 acquisitions over this offseason, as Brian pointed out when setting up the show, and that's in Sean Couturier and Cam Atkinson. Those would be 2 good shots in the arm, right, that can help guide and build this youth and further the movement that we saw in the latter third of this past season.
Absolutely, and it's going to be huge. You're getting your best 2-way player back. You're getting one of your best shooters back. You're getting guys who've been in this league for a long time. You've got guys who can really, in a matter of speaking, hand the torch to the next group, which is probably going to be Frost, Tippett, York. Those guys, Cates, everybody wants to say this, it's fine. You make your jokes if this team's not going to compete again until 2030, 2032, whatever, what have you. This team really is not far off. They had 30 some odd wins last year. They had 20 wins the year before. The stock is on the rise for this team. If they can get 40 wins this year, and somebody left this comment on one of the HUD posts that I posted in one of the fan groups. If you can get 40 wins this year, that's 500 hockey. That's pretty much 500 hockey right there, because you're guaranteed 2 shootout losses.
And
probably more than that, but I'm just being nice.
Right.
Just saying, until Cam Atkinson gets her shooting hoops in the driveway this offseason. That's funny.
He's got kids now, so he might.
Ted's saying the Flyers have been stuck in hockey purgatory. You got to get young. They wasted Coots and Giroux's primes. You got to build through the draft. When you get enough of a core, then you sign free agents.
Yep.
Unfortunately, they did waste Giroux. That's just such a shame. He deserved so much better. But that's what it is. Can't do anything about it now. You just got to move forward.
Yeah.
Now he's saying, I just don't see it in heart. I believe he is just an average goalie. If I believe he was a franchise goalie, I will agree. I think he is average.
And that's okay, man. That's why we're here. That's what HUD stands for. Agree to disagree, my friend. That's all good.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Everybody's got different standpoints. We'll see it all come out. I'm just looking at the numbers. You know what I mean? And they seem above average to me, but it above average isn't still a franchise goalie. So we're not far off in our discussion here.
And then you also have the other thing to remember too is this league has been increasingly offensive as years keep going too. So it's tougher to be a goalie. The league averages are a little bit higher than they used to be. So it gets overshadowed by all that. So remember, goalie pads are getting smaller, nets are getting a little bit bigger. Players are getting just a little bit more creative. The numbers are a little bit skewed more these days. So what was average may not be average anymore. So things to keep in mind.
Brian, I'll give you a high five through the screen there because you are absolutely on point with that. We are seeing goal scoring going up a lot. It has been on a massive rise these last few seasons. And I think you can say we're back to a really highly offensive league. I mean, ironically enough, we're looking at 6-4 games almost on routine anymore these days and age. And it's like, Jesus, we're getting out of an era where 3-2 was the commonplace, So I think we're getting back to that era, as a cycle continues to go through, we're getting to that era where offense is once again going to be your prime thing. And I'm not against it. I love offense just as much as anybody else. It's just, we're starting to see it again. We're starting to see.
Look at tonight. Tonight, for example,
right.
Two games. Your first 2 games tonight had 6+ goals.
Right.
Just on one team alone.
Right.
So just things to keep in mind. But yeah, I mean, I get it. Like, I'm not here to change anybody's mind. Like, we're just here to talk sports, have a good time, and then come back and do it again next week. So,
well, hey, that's the joy of what we do.
By the way, 1-1 between Seattle and Colorado at the end of one. I'm about to flip back to the other game.
Yeah, me as well. Last time I checked, it was Winnipeg up by 2.
Oh.
Yep.
All right. Well, I'm going to retire now because apparently I don't know anything.
What you talking about, Willis?
What happened?
Vegas is down 2-0 right now.
Yeah, well,
That's
why I really, like you were talking earlier, that there's just a high probability for a lot of 7-game series, a lot of parity in this league. There's not as much of a difference especially in the Eastern Conference between your wild cards 1 and 2, and there's just the Bruins and everybody else.
No, that's pretty much how it is too. And I know that the Bruins are the favorite, and I did pick them to win the cup because they're just absolutely disgusting. And they're even more disgusting at home. So having home ice, pretty much, they're probably going to have home ice throughout. It's still beneficial to them. It's still beneficial to them.
Let's see. Swoopy saying, I hope Briere and Torts will make every move with players via free agency, trade, draft, and etc. By building their team with players, they have the attributes and skills that fit to the style of play they want. Don't just bring in players just to play a position to fill in because it's a need. Yeah, developing you want to bring in a culture that fits with Torts, fits with what you want to build, an identity. That's basically what we want. That's basically what you're saying here. Get an identity through building those players and putting the pieces together.
Can I just say one thing?
Yes.
Don't bring anybody in. Build off of what you have. I think that's a big problem right now. You want to rebuild? Build off of what you have. Don't bring anybody in. Keep the vets that you have and let the young kids play. Let the young kids develop. I'm telling you, 2 years, the Flyers are back in the playoffs.
Joe, I agree. The Flyers are goalies with the way that the Browns are with quarterbacks. You are absolutely 100% on point with that. I can't deny it. Let's be honest here. It's always shitty in Philadelphia.
And how the Rays are with keeping their starting pitchers healthy.
Ooh. And they just brought up Taj Bradley, too. He was a big prospect.
Yeah. I'm sure you watched him a lot.
Actually, not as much as you'd think.
No. Yeah, well, pitching every 5th day,
Yeah,
I
mean,
do.
He just got called up last year to AAA, so I didn't. That was towards the end of the season. I wasn't working in the stadium at that point.
Gotcha.
Yeah, now I do agree with LJ here. He's saying they need an impact young player. I do agree. If you could get a really good young impact player, you might be able to through this draft.
They're going to get one. They're going to be drafting in the top 7.
Yeah, so I mean, hey.
Avoid the what's his name? Makai Mitchev, I think his name is. Avoid him because he's not coming over to the NHL until at least 26.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Because he's still under contract with the KHL and they won't let him break the deal. Avoid him. As
nice.
Good as he's going to be, avoid him. He's not going to be worth waiting for.
Joe.
If he even comes over.
Joe's on fire right now. He's like, should have kept Richards and Carter. If you can't snort cake and sleep with teammates' wives, why even play professional hockey? Listen, man. Hey, Richards and Carter, man, they were the best at it. Hell, those guys probably were sharing their wives, to be honest with you. They were sharing pretty much everything, for God's sakes.
You know what's funny? Mike Richards I actually just looked up to see what he was doing. He's a professional fisherman now.
Really? Interesting.
He's on the Bass Pro Tour.
I like that.
Really?
I like
Yeah,
that.
and he's gotten big.
Still
So it
competing.
probably means
huh?
he's clean,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He got off the
which
shit.
is good. Hey, if that's the case and he got clean, good for him. Like, good for him.
Yeah.
That's a battle he's going to be dealing with for the rest of his life. So
Yeah.
great for him.
Yeah. Hopefully he'll be able to keep those demons away. Let's see here. Mean Metal Mike saying Konechny being captain going forward to lead the team. He's earned it. Konechny had a tremendous year. I'd love to see him pull it off again. I mean, it doesn't have to be the same exact like stat line or what have you. If it's more, great. If it's around the same range, like maybe 1 or 2 off, all right, cool. That's great. He's consistency. That's all I want to see. That's all I want to see from Konechny. If I can get that out of him, great. Because unfortunately, he's gone up and down a little bit in his time.
Yeah, I'm game for giving him another year just to make sure he maintains some consistency with the system, and I wanted to play a full year too. But for right now, my guy, I don't think my captain's on this team yet. For me at least, like I don't really see anybody. Maybe Lawton.
Lawton could be like maybe a placeholder. Like, I hate to say that about Superman, but you could kind of put him in as the placeholder. Maybe the young pup in the draft. Maybe
He's kind of already doing it. He's the only one wearing any kind of a letter anyway.
Right, but maybe the young pup in the draft is the future C for the team, and maybe Lawton will just carry it for the time being until the kid's ready. Like maybe, fingers crossed. One can hope.
I mean, we'll see. I mean, we'll see in time. It's being a good captain is more than just point production. So
True.
Just something to keep in mind. And that's why I don't necessarily know if I see anybody worthy enough to wear the C yet, but that could absolutely change. Absolutely change. So we'll see we'll see what happens next year.
I mean, right now, in terms of like the young kids that we have on the team, I would say the one who stands out for me right this minute is Tippett, but he's still pretty young, so I would say wait. But he's the only one of the young pups right now that's on the team currently that I think has shown maybe he's got the ability, but we'll have to wait and see. Let's see here. LJ saying, at least I have my passion back for the Flyers. Good. That's important. That's what we want to hear. That is what we want to hear. Joe's like, hashtag ban the hybrid and hashtag ban the butterfly. Bring back stand-up goalies. It's 7-6 scores.
You're not far off from that.
Oh, man. Hell, a 7-6, that was a low-scoring game back in the day. Ted saying, Flyers might be forced to trade Hart because those ongoing investigations, but teams may also be reluctant to trade for someone who would be out of the league. Danny is going to have everyone on the table, I guess. I mean, haven't heard anything about that. So, I mean, so far,
process though.
Yeah, that's true. It may take a while before we really see the results of that. Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. Who knows? By the time those get done, the Flyers rebuild might be over. So, who knows?
I mean, we'll see. I mean, I haven't heard much from anything about this investigation in a long time. So then it's been a couple of years since these allegations came out, and a lot of players have already been deemed clean. So it could have just potentially been just someone trying to get some money out of it. So you never know. So I mean, like I said, I haven't heard anything from this in a while.
Right. Yeah, Mean Metal Mike throwing this one at you, Bri. How the Ducks' future looking?
We got a top 3 pick, baby, guaranteed. Let's go. No more Dallas Eakins, so that's good. Hoping for Peter Laviolette. That would be great. And the big thing moving forward is Trevor Zegras' maturity level. So that for me is a big thing moving forward. Just took too many dumb penalties because he got too emotional. So that's another one. It looks good though. I would say one more year. If they can get Bedard or Fantilli, I think that really kind of moves the process forward a little bit. But I think another year they'll be in the playoffs. I think they got a good core here. I think they still got some pieces to bring in. I'm actually looking at their contracts now. They still got another year on Henrique, which I love. Oh, Jesus Christ. Still another year for Brock McGinn.
Oh, my God. You have Brock McGinn?
Yeah, we got him at the trade deadline.
Okay, I didn't even realize he was still playing.
Yeah. I would love to see him move on from Maxime Comtois. He really hasn't done anything. Derek Grant's probably going to sign elsewhere. Troy Terry, they got to get back under contract. Trevor Zegras, they got to get back under contract. Jason Megna can kick rocks. Kevin Shattenkirk can kick rocks. Nathan Bellew can kick rocks. So can Scott Harrington. Simone Benoit, I think they can re-sign. I think I'd be okay with that. But they got a bunch of contracts they need to re-up on. Stolarz will probably hit free agency. Jamie Drysdale's ELC is up after this year as well. So those Lucas Dostal. So we got a bright future. We just got to get some guys locked up under contract. I'm still saying trade. Please trade Comtois at the draft. Please, for the love of God, trade him. He's really turned into nothing.
Maxime Comtois. Oh, Vegas with the big one right there.
Ugh.
Right, one of my favorite names, right up there with the Ice Cream Man, Hockenpah, and Ass Plug. I love it. Those are some great names right there.
Oh, good snipe. Oh, from William Karlsson, former Duck. Former 50-goal scorer as well.
Bill Karlsson. Wild Bill strikes.
Great. That was such a great snipe. They went top corner. I think Hellebuck should have probably backed up a little bit more. Took away that corner.
I think
we came out. Sorry, came out.
I think Carlson's proven this for the last 3 seasons. He's pretty much taken over Alex Tuch's role of being the guy that will score the goal when you really, really, really need a goal, because that's what Tuch used to do all the time for the Golden Knights.
This is ironic because I think William Karlsson had a 50-goal year while Alex Tuch was still in Vegas.
True, but it was funny because Tuch would just score a goal randomly right the hell out of nowhere when Vegas really needed to tie a game with 3 minutes left. You're like, of course Tuch scored it. Of all people, it just had to be him.
Yeah, Vegas is back in this game now, so.
Yeah, all it takes is just one. That's the beauty of the playoffs. The momentum just shifts on a dime. Well, I mean, generally in hockey, but with the playoffs, even more. Ted saying, it's April 17th, 2023. Who do you guys think stays with the Flyers longer, Danny or Torts?
Torts.
Interesting.
There's no guarantees after this year for Danny.
He does have the interim tag. So that's a good. It's true. I don't know. I guess if Danny does I think Danny might do a good enough job to where he gets the interim tag taken off of him.
I mean, he's guaranteed this year at least.
Right. Yeah, I'll go Torts. I think Torts will be here for a little bit to get the team up and running and get a system in place. But I think Danny will still be GM.
What if Danny goes all Kevin Costner and works out a bunch of deals and trades up and they get Bedard and he's a rock star? What about? Let's think positively.
If Danny
think a little more realistic.
No. You trade TK Provy and your number one pick to get the number one pick.
The icing on the cake, they also shed.
You would never see these jerseys hanging up again.
Also, they completely shed Hayes' contract and they trade his ass too right then and there as well. And then boom, Bedard official.
I would retire a Ducks fan. I would be like, that's it. I'm done.
I'm done with hockey. General, we're done. We'll be
Jump
doing
off of
another
this show,
show.
jump
We'll
on
be
one of
doing
the
a
other
special
shows and start talking football and baseball. Never talk hockey again.
We'll literally
Would
be
you be a big
doing
hockey guy?
black.
No.
We'll be wearing black armbands in mourning for Brian's love of hockey.
Burn all my hockey equipment. I'll never speak of the game again.
And all someone has to say is puck, and Brian just starts twitching like live on the air, and just
yeah, right over there. Triggered.
Let's see here. So
I gotta get to bed. I got a long day tomorrow.
all right. So let's jump into a little further here.
I'm excited for him too. Let's just let him get healthy and develop a little bit before we start calling him an ace.
Right.
And Ryan and Swoopy saying, I believe Danny had most of the say and influence on the Torts hiring. He really wanted Torts here.
I don't know if he did or not. Honestly, why would he have any say?
Well, he was the assistant
I'm just gonna ask
GM.
why. Right, he's the assistant GM. Why would he really have any say? I think Fletcher knew that he wanted him here. I think he knew that he would be the best in the situation, and he's proven that he has been. But I don't know why Danny would have any say.
Well, maybe Fletcher was kind of not sure on who he wanted as a coach, and maybe he did talk to Danny about it. Maybe he took Danny's opinions in the matter of, or maybe after doing all the interviews, he was weighing the options and he asked for Danny's opinion.
Maybe, or maybe Paul Holmgren came down and said, "Here, we're hiring Torts."
Well, far be it from Torts to, far be it from Holmgren to insert himself into a situation like that.
I believe he had most of the say, not Danny.
Maybe.
Danny's going to have say now.
Well,
but I don't think he had it before.
Yeah.
So let's see.
I hate to be that guy and be negative, but
well, I mean, do you want to be the new Greg? Because you're starting to get borderline here on the new Greg.
Oh, you stop it!
I'm just saying you're walking that line.
I haven't even stepped up to the start of that line. You better knock that off. I'm the most positive person on this show. You better knock that shit off right now.
Sorry, gotta call it when I see a friend walking the razor's edge. I gotta try and help pull him back just a little bit. Be like, oh, hey, watch it there, might fall.
Watch it there, bub.
All right, then. So on to the third period. Brought to you by FanUp, the best way to enjoy fantasy sports. If you got any side hustles you like to get going, fantasy sports is one of the best ones out there, right? Get yourself some nice cash. They will have daily NFL contests when football comes back, but they also have NBA, NHL, they've got MLB, they've got everything. Not only can you win great prizes, if you sign up today and you use the promo code A2D, you can get a $50 value, 5,000 bonus points. Absolutely free. Use the promo code A2D, and that's all yours. All you got to do is go to fanup.app, download it, and use it, and make yourself some cash in fantasy. Because you know what? That's what we want you to do. We want you to make money. That's what we want for you. All right, then. So, on to the third period we go. And, well, gents, as we are ready to start winding this down, do believe it's time for us to give our predictions for what we have. Did the Jets just score, or did they wave that off?
They waved it off, but Vegas didn't like that.
Oh, rough stuff. White Cloud and Pionk got into it, and then the whole thing exploded. Got Stone gripping up Connor. This is... Boy, that would have been real interesting if this was back in the day. That would have been a line brawl, probably.
Oh, McNabb would have put that into his own net, too.
Oh, that would have been, yeah, that would have been real bad if that had...
Yeah, that's a no-goal. That's the right call.
Okay,
there was no time left on the clock there.
Yeah. Boy, I'll tell you, McNabb should count his lucky stars on that one. Talk about seeing shit in your sleep. That would have definitely been the case. LJ,
All right, LJ,
thank you, man.
Appreciate you. Always.
Joe's funny. He's saying, I disagree with the poll. I don't think the Devils will beat the Rangers in game 1.
I was half asleep when I came up with the poll. What I should have said was, for this poll question, Devils will upset the Rangers in this series. That's what I should have said.
Oh,
I thought about that all day today. I'm like, I fucked that up. That's on me.
Joe's
I
like,
change that.
It made it a good earlier in the day discussion, though.
It did,
Like,
but then I
promoted the show.
Yeah.
Joe's saying, by the way,
consider doing maybe 2 polls, one for early in the day and then one for showtime.
There you go. Joe's saying, Torch and Pitchfork Comcast did stop hiring former Flyers. What exactly has Danny Briere done to deserve a GM job? Can he even do math? And also, he clearly can't take care of his own family. Obviously, if you've been keeping a track of the news, yes, Danny Briere's son got himself into some trouble there. He did do a shithead thing. So, I mean, that's what's going to happen if you do a shithead thing.
Well, what's good is Caden has actually is holding himself accountable for it. He's apologizing this, and I think he's doing something. But that's still like, I mean, he's a college kid. College kids gonna do stupid shit.
Right.
It's how you handle it afterwards that I think is more important than what you do, because, like I said, college kids do stupid shit all the time.
Right. Well, who knows? Maybe Caden came home and maybe his dad beat the piss out of him. Danny could go. He wasn't afraid. He was fearless.
I mean, we'll see. But like I said, he seems to be holding himself accountable for his mistakes. So to me, that's a step in the right direction. Now it's just kind of taking that experience, learning from it, and realizing that, hey, I probably should never do that again.
Right. Mike saying it's going to be great seeing the Penguins tank. Oh, yeah. So speaking of that, guys, how do you feel knowing now that we have a playoff where we don't have the Penguins and the Capitals? It feels kind of weird, right? Like not seeing either one of those teams on the bracket. I thought it was.
It does. Very weird. It's like almost the end of an era, beginning of a new.
Yeah, it had to come eventually. I kind of figured it was going to be the Capitals before the Penguins. I didn't think it was going to be both teams in the same year, but it's different. I'll tell you that.
That's crazy.
I think Washington has more work to do than Pittsburgh, to be completely honest with you. But I mean, now Pittsburgh has to find a new GM after firing Ron Hextall. Washington has to find a new coach after firing Peter Laviolette. So that's 2 former Flyers on the market. I'm obviously hoping that Lavi finds his way to Southern California. I think he's the best fit for the coaching job there to help take Anaheim to that next level. But it's to be interesting.
Also,
interesting to see what these teams do.
A new president too.
Who does?
Right.
Oh yeah, they fired Brian Burke as well. You're right.
Penguins. Yeah. Yep. So yeah, that's they got a lot of work to do now. Sullivan apparently is stepping in to fill in for those roles, so it'll be interesting to see if Mike Sullivan eventually graduates and goes up to those positions, and they just decide to get a new head coach.
What in the effing fuck is he wearing? Sorry, PK.
I don't know, man. PK wears weird shit, man. You seen the ad though with him and Joe Thornton, where they're at the rink late at night and they're looking for teeth? That was actually kind of funny.
This cat is on national TV with wearing a button-down shirt and looks like a bedazzled jacket, and his button-down shirt is almost completely open minus one button.
All right, then. So let me just pull up Rob's screen here. There we are. We got
just to give you guys something to work off of, not just to show off my ugly picks, but just if you're going to give a brief overview. I know we're short on time, so I figured this would help.
Right. So basically, for the picks, for me, in the Colorado-Seattle series, since that happens to be the game I've got back on right now, Seattle is up 2-1 now in the game. So I'm not sure who scored, but yeah, Colorado's got a power play, but Seattle's up 2-1. I actually think I picked Seattle. I picked Seattle to win the series. I think I had them picking 7. I don't know how you gentlemen feel on that.
I got Colorado in 6, I believe. Wenberg scored for Seattle.
Yeah, I mean, this is one I want to kind of reconsider from what we saw in tonight's game. I mean, Seattle's playing tough and they've came to play, but I just saw Colorado really playing their best hockey, streaking into the playoffs, and coming across a team that's their accomplishment was making their first playoff. You know what I mean? So this I had to balance out all my game 7s with a 5-gamer, so I got Colorado in 5.
Yeah, I got Seattle, or I got Colorado in 6. I just think that Seattle's just gonna just stick around a little bit. They work too damn hard to be swept or not only take one game, but ultimately Colorado, I think, is going to be just too much for them to handle.
Sure.
Swoopy saying Landeskog being injured is going to hurt Colorado. I think it's hurting them right now. Yeah, that's a lot of leadership you don't have.
Yeah.
So I just picked Seattle because honestly, I want to see them. I just want to see them beat a team in their first year, their first time in the playoffs, and watch it be the defending champs. I want it. I want that chaos. I love that chaos.
Yeah.
I crave it in the Stanley Cup playoffs this time of the year.
You gotta pick some upsets, man. That's what we're here for.
Absolutely. Okay, so on to Dallas and Minnesota. I actually have Dallas winning this one. However, I have them winning it in 7. I think this is going to be a knockout, drag-out fight, in my opinion.
I agree with you, Maddie. I think it is going to be a knockdown, drag-out fight. But this is my only real upset is Minnesota over Dallas. But I got Minnesota doing it in 6. It is going to be a knockout, drag-out fight through it. But I think Minnesota is going to wind up sweeping them at home. Minnesota stole one on the road already. Ryan Hartman, I think, set the tone, and without Pavelski, I think it's just going to make things harder for Dallas not having him.
Right.
All right then, Robbie, what you got between the all-green series between Dallas and Minnesota?
This is one of my game 7s. I think this is going to be a team that's going to be back and forth affair. I just give the edge, in terms of moving on to Dallas because of Jake Ottinger.
All right, then. Goalie can make the difference, and many times it does. Let's see here. Joe's saying, I'm rooting for the Oilers, though. I want McDavid to win a cup. Well, speaking of that, let's go to it. Edmonton and the Kings. I actually have another upset happening here. I actually have the Kings beating the Oilers because I still think they're going to trip over their 100-point big old dick because that's what they love to do. So, yeah, Kings move on in 7. Fuck it. I didn't care. Come at me.
I'm actually updating this to a 7-game series as we speak because I can still make changes before game 2 after seeing game 1. But I mean, can I see it? Yeah, and it's not as much of an upset. I've seen a couple. I know Joe or and someone else was showing me that. Oh no, it was Priz. Priz has LA beating Dallas going on to the Stanley Cup Finals.
Damn.
And that's his own Dallas Stars. Yeah.
Damn. That's whew. Boy, that'd be one hell of a run, wouldn't it?
Sure would.
So dare I ask, how do you gentlemen see this series playing out between the Oilers and Kings, this old rivalry?
I got Edmonton winning in 6. I just think the experience at Edmonton is going to be what really seals it for them. I mean, they're just absolutely loaded. And I like their goaltending over what LA has right now. Korpisalo had a great game 1, but I just think Edmonton's experience over the last few years is going to be what takes them over the edge of the Kings. Just don't think the Kings, as good as they are as deep as Edmonton is.
All right.
Plus that power play is just absolutely filthy.
So, Rob, do you have Edmonton or LA winning this series?
You can see it by my Stanley Cup champion is Edmonton on your screen right now. So yeah, I got them moving on. I have adjusted it to Edmonton in 7 though now.
Oh, okay. I didn't want to steal your thunder on that one because I know this is your bracket.
No, exactly. But I mean, just taking a look at the matchups, you know, I just, the difference here is a key factor. When you talk about importance in the playoffs, a lot of it is goaltending. A lot of it's on special teams. And we've been talking about it all season, boys. Edmonton's power play at over 30% all season long is unheard of. It's unheard of. And I think they're really going to lean on that. I mean, if the Kings want to move on, they got to stay out of the penalty box. I don't think that fits their style of play.
No, they got a couple guys, especially Drew Doughty, who can get a little emotional at times and take stupid penalties. So we'll see.
Sure. Right.
Swoopy saying Kings for sure. Yeah, and Mean Metal Mike, he says he's got the Kings Bruins Cup and Kings win again over the Bruins. Holy shit. Could you imagine that? Like, oh, wow. That I'm kind of interested in seeing that because the Bruins lose final. But
I'd quit on the spot if that happened.
The Kings won a third cup. They'd win one before they win a third one before the Sharks win one, and they would win another one before the Ducks would win another one.
They would have won 3 before Anaheim won another one.
Be saying Kings amaze me, and then he also says Kings do things that nobody expects. Oh, and Joe says he's Wichita Flyers. In case anyone was wondering which one's his.
Yeah, buddy.
Vegas, and currently going on right now. Vegas finally showing some life, getting a goal there. Who do you got winning this one? I have winning this guy in 5. So, what about you, gents?
After what I've seen tonight, I had to adjust a little bit. I still got Vegas winning it, but I think I put it Vegas in 6. So that puts all my West Coast teams winning in long series.
Yeah. But I mean, this is a 2-1 game tonight. So, I mean, certainly Vegas, you know, playing at home, you know, it's they call it the Vegas flu, like the Philly flu, you know, for the Jets that could bite them in the third period here. But yeah, I think I just thought this would be a pretty close contest with the trouble that the Knights have had in goal. And Winnipeg's been a tenacious team, has played solid hockey and has a damn good goaltender as well. So I do have the Knights moving on in 6, but it's going to be a very close 6-game series.
Yeah, I'm seeing that now.
Swoopy saying, was Lombardi the GM when the Kings won their Stanley Cups? Isn't he with the
He was.
Flyers?
Mhm.
He was.
Yeah. Wasn't he kicked
Yeah,
out
no.
after Ron Hextall got fired?
I think he stayed around, I think, another couple years. I think he was gone before Daryl Sutter was.
Okay. Oh, and McCann and Taves are exchanging some pleasantries there. Let's see. Moving on to the eastern side of things. And just read off Ted's comment here. Do you think the NHL rearranges the playoff format if Toronto loses again in the first round? They knew they had Tampa from the beginning. And with that, Tampa and Toronto. Before you guys answer, do they change the playoff format if Toronto loses again? Who do you have winning this series? I have Toronto winning in 7, and no, I do not expect the NHL to change the playoff format around.
I mean, apparently the owners are talking about it for the next CBA or something. I forget what I was listening to something on ESPN radio, and just one guy who talks hockey on there his name's Adam Gold. He's good at talking hockey. He knows what he's doing. He knows what he's talking about. He does all the Canes broadcasts and stuff like that too. So he's saying something about the owners talking about changing the format again for the playoffs. But I actually have the Lightning winning in 6.
I have the Lightning winning in 6-2. They just got the decided edge in goaltending. Bazzi's the best goaltender on the planet right now. And I mean, Igor will have something to say about that. But in terms of the playoff format, just go back to the top best 8, 1 through 8, all this mumbo jumbo.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you. I'd rather go back to the 1 through 8.
Now, question, if we do that, question, gentlemen. So do the 1 through 8 format. Would you want the top 3 seeds to be the division winners like it was, or would you be the top 8 and it didn't matter whether you won your division or not?
Well, now it would be the first 2, but yeah, first 2 you're division winners, and then everybody else fills in.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, with the way the league's structured now. Actually, do you see them changing that? Do you see them going back to 3 divisions?
Nah. I mean, unless they're looking to realign because they're moving a team like Arizona.
Yeah, I think that's the only way they realign again.
Or they put Nashville in the East.
Which I still don't understand why they didn't do that in the first place.
But anyway.
Whatever.
Apparently Detroit requests, so I don't know. Joe's agreeing. 1 through 8 divisions are dumb. And he also said no, best 8, so it doesn't matter whether you win your division or not. All right, then. So moving on. Gents, we go to I have Boston winning this one. I believe I had them winning in 6.
Boston?
Yeah, Boston, Florida.
Yeah,
yep.
You were just cutting out on me, Matty. I didn't hear the first part, but I got Boston in 5. I don't think Florida is really going to give them any issues.
I had the okay. All right then. Yeah, I had Boston in 6 in mine.
Hey, here's Don.
We were looking for you before, buddy.
Oh.
I got a fever, and the only prescription is more Don.
He just makes the show better.
Yeah,
Don,
for sure.
Don saying, "Hey, bastards."
Oh, how did he not score there?
Go ahead, Robbie. What were you going to say?
Don's taking Seattle to win the cup. I like it. I was just saying I got Boston in 6-2 because I just thought, with goaltending and solid D, that Florida could try to make it a contest, but in the end, Boston's offense being too much. But Joe made a good point when we were chatting about before. I'm having a little doubts now that they get more than one win.
Yeah.
Game 1,
Yeah, Boston pretty much owned that entire game.
Yeah.
Florida their offense is so lackluster now. Since letting Andrew Brunette go, the offense went with them. The defense is solid, and they do have some solid goaltending between Bob and Spencer Knight. But right now, Alex Lyon is your starter. They're going to light him up.
Yeah, poor Alex Lyon. I still love the guy. He did what he could for the Flyers, and unfortunately, it's not getting much better outside Philly. But I will say this is a cautionary tale because Florida's coming off their greatest season ever. This is what happens when you try to fix it when it's not broken. And I think that's what happened with Florida here. Yeah.
Letting Andrew Brunette go was a big mistake.
Cute there. Yeah.
Hell, I'd take Andrew Brunette or Peter Laviolette as my head coach.
Right. Florida really needs to address this in the offseason because this was a real bad year for them, real off year for them. And they made the playoffs. That's the silly part of it. But after coming off the year they had, yeah. So let's see here. Moving on to Carolina and the New York Islanders. Probably, I would say, gents, this is the closest match in the East. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah.
I mean, Rangers Devils, I thought could be too. Like I have both of these going 7 games, and in terms of an upset, we talked about how Carolina, stumbling into these playoffs. I could even see the Islanders upsetting.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be an uber
exactly
close
what
series.
I have.
I mean, I have Carolina winning in 6. I mean, Barzell's just starting to get back in the swing of things. Ilya Sorokin is a Vezina nominee. To me, he's a Vezina nominee. He's had a phenomenal year. I think this is going to be a closer series since Carolina doesn't have Svechnikov, and they just lost somebody else too. Who the hell did they just lose? But regardless, this is going to be a really close series. This is going to be the closest series of them all. As far as score goes, it's going to be whichever team breaks 3 goals in a game is probably going to wind up being your winner. But it's going to be a lot of close games, 2-1, 3-2. But I got Carolina in 6.
All right. I have the Islanders winning in 6. I think it'll be a very nasty, tough series. This will be a defensive series, I feel. I think both teams have solid enough play. Yeah, unfortunately, firsthand. So I think they might be able to pull that off, able to kind of weed out Carolina. However, the Hurricanes can do the exact same thing. So tit for tat. I still think the Islanders win it. I just something with this team. They just grind out playoff matchups and they do a really good job of it. It's hard to get rid of them. It really is.
Brian, were you talking about Sam Bennett?
No.
Patrick Hornquist?
No.
With the concussion? No.
Oh no, for Carolina, not for Florida.
Oh, duh. Oh, wait a minute. I was on the fucking wrong side of this. That's fine. It's late.
It's getting late. Yeah. We're past our bedtime here, Robbie.
Yeah. Casse out with a concussion. Jake Gardnier out with hip back. Max Pacioretty. Yep.
Max Pacioretty. That's who it was. Yeah. Obviously getting him in the offseason, a big trade, getting him back was huge for the Carolina Hurricanes. He was going to help the power play. He's going to help create some offense, but since popping the Achilles, it's been a rough year for Patch, but yeah, it's a shame because Carolina was pretty well set up now, and now they're just kind of I think they're going to get by this series by the skin of their teeth. But good news is, and I'm actually glad we're talking about this, this is a team whose power play has been really struggling over the last few weeks, maybe possibly even months. We can go that far, but getting 2 goals on the power play last night was huge for Carolina moving forward. So See if they can continue to build off of that.
Done. Oh man, this is why we love Don.
Oh shit, that's it's true though. I gotta take my meds and go to bed. It's getting late, man. I gotta work a 12-hour shift tomorrow.
All right.
Ooh.
Moving on.
Yep. Moving on to our final matchup. I guess you could say we saved the best for last. I guess for one of the hosts' perspective, the Rangers and the Devils. I have the. I actually have us winning this series. I know it sounds weird after the game we just saw with them, but I hate when the Devils to playoffs and they look like they can do shit because that usually means they're gonna. And it's like, great. Now we got to deal with the fucking Devils doing a great run again. It's just historically proven. You don't expect them to do something and they fucking do it. Great. Thanks, guys. I have them winning in 7.
I'm in the same boat, but not for the same reason. I think this is a really good, young, fast Devils team. I think in order for them to really get going here, they got to get Vanacek on point, and they got to play better in front of him. I thought they played pretty poorly in front of him tonight, but I thought the offense did a pretty good job. But all in all, you got to figure out a way to beat Shesterkin. That's going to be the key moving forward. If they can take game 2 and at least get one in Madison Square Garden in game 3 or 4, I think they're in pretty good shape there to start worrying about game 7 at home. And I do have the Devils winning this series. I think it's going to be the youth and the speed is going to be a little too much for the Rangers to handle, especially if the longer that this series goes.
And it could shift that way, man. This is another even series. I have it going 7. I just think you had the experience from last year, plus you bring in guys like Tarasenko and Patrick Kane who have been there in the playoffs. The speed and youth will keep it back and forth, especially after we saw what we witnessed them going in a hole down 0-1 tonight. But in the end, I just got to give the check mark to experience.
Yeah, most times I usually would do the same thing too, but there's just something about this Devils team.
Hey, there is, man. We thought they were a pretender all year, and they stayed in that second position behind Carolina all year. You're right.
Yep. There's just something about this Devils team. Vanacek was just a backup in Washington, and he came over to the Devils, and he's showing that maybe he is a starter.
Right.
But the big thing to remember too here is like, they went out and they signed Dougie Hamilton 2 years ago. They went out and signed Andre Palat last year. So they have experience on their back end. They have experience and a Stanley Cup winner to help guide these younger guys. Nico Herscher is the only young guy who has playoff experience. Let's not forget that. And he's the one wearing the C as well. So
sure. It's a good
he's
point.
Got some of that experience under his belt as well. 2018.
2018, that was the year. Okay.
Yep. That was the last time they made the playoffs. It was 2017, 2018. So that was 5 seasons ago. So
okay.
There are some younger guys that are probably going to feel a little bit of butterflies. But game 1's now done, out of the way. Now you go to game 2. It's just another game. Just you go out and you win. You win every battle. Go out and win the shift. That's all you can do.
Yeah, it's going to be chippy. And after the game today, oh yes, it'll get very chippy very fast.
Absolutely.
Me, Metal Mike saying at least we're not Columbus signing Johnny Hockey and tanking. And
I don't know if they tanked. I think they were just bad.
Yeah. And Ted was saying, what are you guys doing for the lottery? Do you guys have any rituals, lucky socks? The word is escaping me, like how baseball players do the same thing at bat before the pitch. I can't think of the word.
Superstitions?
Yeah.
Yep.
Routines?
Superstition. Yep.
Honestly, the Flyers pick so rarely in the lottery, I don't have one. So they very rarely do this. So honestly, I don't have one.
I answered Ted back in the chat. I said I burned pictures of Gary Bettman in effigy.
The Jets are up 3-1 in their game right now, are the Golden Knights. My God, my
Ooh.
pick is looking like...
Blake Wheeler with a big goal.
My God, my bracket might just get torched before this is all said and done.
Thank God
You
I
know
don't
what?
have Vegas winning.
Yeah. I still crave that, though. Even if I'm wrong, I still crave the chaos. Winnipeg eliminates Vegas in the first round. Give it to me. Inject that shit right into my veins. All right. Let's see here. Joe saying, I can't wait for the off-season show, boys. Between the off-season shows and the COVID lockout shows, my favorite episodes were doing shit like ranking the best jerseys of all time, ranking the best hockey names of all time, naming obscure Flyers from the past, top 90s movies of all time, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Hey, Joe, thank you very much, brother. We have enjoyed you here for this ride and continuing forward, man. And, we'll have plenty of that shit for you guys in the off season. And yes, like I said, we will go through the Flyers carousel of goaltenders. We'll definitely do that as an off season show. And we'll have plenty of other ones that we'll come up with. Rob always has fun ones off the top of his head. Brian's come up with plenty. We got stuff always for you guys. Trust me.
I have an idea that I want to run past you live on the air.
Oh,
right. And
exciting.
And it may not be it might just be a segment, not a whole show, right? But name a player from one of your teams that if he were on another team, you would fucking hate him, but you don't because he's on your team.
Interesting. I like it. Reverse psychology on us. I like it. Role reversal. That's a good one.
I thought of that the other day.
You know what? Yeah, we'll put a thumbtack in that. Put that one on the board, gentlemen. We are definitely going to visit that topic.
I thought about it in terms of the context of baseball, but it would be even that much more prudent for hockey.
Right, because there are some shit heels that you had on your team that is like, boy, if you played for the other side, I would hate your fucking guts. But I'll defend everything you do, every dirty play you'll make, because you are mine.
That's right. That's
right. All right. And Joe, for crossover shows, hey, listen, I'm sure we're always down to have people on the show anytime, any day. Part of the A2D fam, you're always welcome here.
He already talked to Frankie a little bit. He's definitely more than welcome to coming on our show, and he's definitely been more than welcoming to have one of us on his show. So we'll do some crossover stuff with him. He also talks a lot of different variations of hockey. So he does talk pro, he does talk AHL, and he even talks men's league. So
nice.
It's he talks all levels of hockey. So
good.
He's going to be good. He already seems like he's a very good addition to this fam here. So we're very excited to have him.
Absolutely. I always love it. I can learn things from him. I'm always open to learning. And let's see here. And what would you do if the Leafs win the cup? I would hang my head in shame, because then that means the Flyers have the longest cup drought in the entire NHL. So that's exactly what I would do, which is why I don't want Toronto to win the cup until the Flyers win another one.
I would purposefully put these Bluetooth headphones on full blast and make myself deaf, and then grease my body up and be the real life greased up deaf guy.
Giroux in a Penguins jersey, I might shoot myself in the head. Like, honestly, like that is no, that is a terrible sight. No. Get that away from me, Mean Mike.
Nah,
you are absolutely living up to your name right now.
He's finishing his career in Ottawa at home.
Yes.
Yeah, he's pretty done.
Fine, that's okay. I've been meaning to get an Ottawa jersey. I can always grab one that has Giroux's name on the back. So that's totally fine with that.
That's a good idea, too. The one with the senator on front. Ooh. That was,
Ottawa's had some nice jerseys in their history.
Yeah. That they have.
I love the ones that they just debuted this year. They're probably my favorite Senators jerseys.
Yeah. All right, one last one before we hit the shootout. Joe saying, if the Leafs won the cup, I turn off the PlayStation. Great comment. Comment, Joe. All right, then. So let's jump into the shootout, which is our overtime, brought to you by Hold on a second. Alonzi Travel. That's right. All right, Alonzi Travel. If you need to get away, which sometimes you do, because it can. So if you don't want to go through all the stress of planning out the vacation to add more stress onto your life, let Alonzi Travel do it for you. Let their agents take care of all the arrangements for you. All you got to do is pack up and catch your flight to either Disney, Universal, or wherever your heart calls to. Let their talented team of travel experts create the custom vacation for you. And I do believe there are a couple of gentlemen from the fam that you can give a shout out to who work over there as well.
Yep. Chuck Smaranin from Birds of a Feather, and in this very rings, Andy Ritter.
All right, then. Yeah, so
go directly to them.
Right. Let them take care of it. That is, they're experts in that field, so let them do it for you. Okay, so, gentlemen, shootout segment time. Let's take a look at our topics here. We'll start things off with series to watch.
I mean, I think we kind of talked this one to death, but for me, it's the Devils and the Rangers.
I'll go contrarian and say Dallas, Minnesota.
Hey.
I am actually going to go even further contrarian. I'm going to say Seattle and Colorado, just because I really want to.
Some call that super contrarian.
You're right, but I just want to see it. If Seattle pulls it off, man, I have so much hope that they'll do it. Not because I hate Colorado or anything. I want to see it. I want to see it. Please have a Stanley Cup. Have the defending champs embarrass themselves, please.
They're holding on 2-1 now. End of the second period.
Right.
Sure are.
I'm pulling for Seattle here. Hey, listen, if I pick them and they win, I don't care if I get every other series wrong from here on out. At least I picked that one right. Okay, on to potential upsets. I think I already pretty much told mine, Seattle and Colorado. But all right, I'll throw out a realistic one. I will say, for me, I would say technically I'll put Toronto and Tampa. I say upset because Toronto hasn't won a series since 2004. So I think that counts.
Sure.
I got Minnesota over Dallas.
Further heightening it being a series to watch. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say I don't have it in my bracket. I do have Carolina moving on, but a potential upset is Islanders over Carolina.
No, it's absolutely. I mean, that's probably going to be the most hard-fought series of all of them right now, but it's also going to be the closest.
Yep.
All right. We got one more for everybody, and that is, of course, the hot take. I think our mind, Seattle will beat Colorado. Simple, done and done. At me. I don't care.
Staying consistent. I like it. I already said mine before, but I'll say it again. There's going to be 4 Game 7s in the first round.
All right. I like that. Briere, what you got?
Devils make it all the way to Eastern Conference Finals.
Nice.
Unfortunately,
bracket.
Yeah, I actually have them doing the same exact thing, tragically. However, I don't have them winning. So you know what? That's okay.
I have them losing to Boston in the Eastern Conference Finals, but I haven't beaten the Rangers in 7. Then I haven't beaten Carolina as well. If they can get to Carolina, the Devils are going to smoke the Hurricanes. I think that's going to be a short series.
Yeah, I think it could. Yeah, I could see them beating Carolina. I actually have them losing to Toronto, but anyway, that'd be a weird ass series, though, wouldn't it?
Hey, that'll be the Scotty Gomez series.
Oh my God, it would.
Right. You're right, it would. Oh, man. Toronto gets revenge for all the early 2000s bullshit they had to deal with from the Devils. So, All right, then, gents. That'll do it for this edition of the Hockey Happy Hour. I know, as much as we would like to stay with you, I know that Rob and Briere, they want to head to bed. But you can still catch the rest of the games between Winnipeg and Vegas, and, of course, between good old Seattle and Colorado. And who knows? Maybe we got some excitement in. Maybe we'll get some free hockey. Maybe not so much from Winnipeg and Vegas, but maybe we'll get it from Seattle and Colorado. Who knows? All right, then. Until then, though, guys, we hope you'll join us next week as we'll have more playoff coverage for you. We'll see where the first round's at by then. Maybe we'll have some Game 7s by then. Maybe. We'll see. See how the schedule shakes out for it. But anyway, until then, we were brought to you by Specialized Physical Therapy. For anytime you got any aches and pains, go hit up the doc, Dr. Paul Vidal, specializedphysicaltherapy.com, and he'll take care of you. Until then, and until next week, from all of us here at A2DRadio.com, we thank you for your support. It's playoff time, baby. Stay hyped. Stay ready, because it's not going anywhere. Stay amped, because we've got a lot of fun coming your way for the NHL Stanley Cup Playoffs. All right, guys. Until then, we'll see you next week right here on A2DRadio.com. Peace and love, everyone.
Happy holidays.